what's the word, blurs and nerds? It's your 40-something non-binary boy, Mark J, coming to you live from right outside the nation's occupied capital. Welcome to Apocalyptic Unlimited presents Harlem Renaissance Forever, this year's Black History Month TTRPG fundraiser. This year, we're raising funds on Tiltify for the Lavender Rights Project. The Lavender Rights Project is a black trans feminist organization committed to dismantling oppressive systems that disproportionately harm black communities. APOC wants to give a big shout out and massive thanks to this year's sponsors, Transplaner RPG, Frivolous Bear Studios, and Thought Crimes Games. Transplaner RPG is an award-winning, all-transgender, people of color-led dark fantasy channel telling stories in an original, non-colonial, anti-Orientalist multiverse. They're proud to support the APOC Black History Month fundraiser and encourage everyone watching to give what they can. As always, we stand in solidarity with all oppressed people of the U.S. and the world, fighting for freedom against colonization, imperialism, and white supremacy. Free Sudan, free DRC, and free Palestine. Frivolous Bear Studios is a game company dedicated to telling untold stories and amplifying marginalized voices. Their first game, The Home We Remember, is an introspective, lyric role-playing game that uses tarot cards to explore your characters' memories and their relationships to a community hit by tragedy. Produced in collaboration with Tinder Vision Studios, The Home We Remember was lovingly crafted by a team of majority queer, trans, and racialized storytellers. Visit frivolousbear.com to get your copy today. And last but certainly not least, a special shout out to our third and final sponsor, Quinn Murphy of Thought Crimes Games, the makers of Griot Anthology. The Griot Anthology is a zine celebrating the brilliant work of black TTRPG game designers, utilizing the powerful medium roleplay. This anthology holds space for intersectional blackness in the past, present, and future, giving us the opportunity to tell our own unique stories and share our unique perspectives. Go to the website itch.io and search for Griot Anthology to pick up a copy today.
Hey, everybody. Welcome. Sorry for the delay. So glad that you're all joining us here today. We want to welcome you to Apochromatic Unlimited presents Harlem Renaissance Forever, this year's Black History Month TTRPG fundraiser. If you're coming to us from the show before us, thanks for sticking around. And either way, you should think about sticking around for the show after ours, because it's also going to be awesome. This year, we're raising funds on Tiltify for the Lavender Rights Project. The Lavender Rights Project is a black trans feminist organization, does fantastic work. It's committed to dismantling oppressive systems that disproportionately harm black communities. We also want to give a big thanks and a shout out to this year's sponsors for the event, Transplaner RPG, Frivolous Bear Studios, and Thought Crimes Games. So with all of that having been said, we're going to do a quick round of intros, get into some content information, just so you know what you're in for, and then get to the game. I'll start off just saying real quick, I'm your light keeper for today. We're playing Candela Obscura. I'm Danny Mendoza in all the social places, he, him, and I'm going to popcorn it over to Allegro.
Oh, that's me. Hello, hi. I am Allegro, also known as Alluring Allegro across the interwebs. You can find me in actual plays or VTubing as a silly siren. Today, I will be playing Cabrice Jones, or apparently Cabby to some. Speaking of, let's popcorn it over to Adi.
I'm the only one who gets to call Caprice Cabby, by the way. Hello, people of the internet. I am Adi MK. I go by Fab, he, him, and I will be here playing Tariq Kamlani, who is also he, him, and he's the musician of the Circle of the Dreaming Key, and we're going to get into some shit this session, aren't we? Popping it over to Chanel Lees.
Hello, my name is Chanel Lees. I use she, they pronouns. You can find me pretty much anywhere online at Chanel Lees, with or without the hyphen, depending on the website. And today I will be playing Lucille Morgan, who also uses she, her pronouns. She is a isolated poet of a sort. And last but not least, I will be popcorning it over to Janie.
Hi, you saved the best for last. That's what you did.
That's what it
It
is.
is.
That's what it
I am
is.
Janie. I am on Blue Sky at Janie Potts. I am playing Oleander. And I know I'm supposed to say other stuff, but pretend like I said it, please.
Deeply felt, Janie. Yeah, all right. So that's our amazing cast. If you haven't had a chance to watch the episode before this one, because this is part 2, and you want to check it out after this, you can always go back. If you're not watching this live and you're watching this on VOD, still please consider donating if you can to the Lavender Rights Project, and if you, whether you can or not, amplifying the work that they do in any way that you feel comfortable, and coming to check out the rest of what Apochramatic Unlimited is hosting for Harlem Renaissance Forever today, tomorrow, Sunday, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday for the whole rest of the month. Content information for what we're going to be watching today, just so that everybody knows what they're signing up for, generally speaking. It's going to include Cosmic Bliss, Horror of the Sublime, Anti-Memetic Erasure, Cosmic Horror, Body Horror, Psychological Horror, Existential Horror, Gaslighting, and Identity Erasure. Now, a note on the gaslighting: this is a heightened situation that deals with magic and magical means. So we're not talking about gaslighting in the way that folks might unfortunately encounter in day-to-day life. It's a little bit removed from that, but it's still present. So that's what we got, everybody. With that, we are going to rejoin the Circle of the Dreaming Key as they enter their old home and headquarters, the House of Theseus. As a quick recap for everyone, last session we saw a bit about how this circle retired, what led to their retirement, some important moments in their history, learned a bit about their relationships with one another, and came to understand how and why they found themselves drawn back together at this place that for over a decade, during one of the most successful runs a circle has ever had in the history of Candle Obscura, they called home. They came invited to a party and heard sounds of it from the outside. Once they all arrived and entered, however, they found themselves where we find them now, which is alone. Now, first and foremost, I'd like to go to Oleander. There is one roll left over from last session that we do need to resolve. So could you please go ahead and give me a sense roll?
Okay, let me just pull my sheet up that I should have had pulled up, but I
No
forgot
stress.
where I forgot where it was what like the website that it was on.
No worries, it's on Demiplane.
Demiplane.
Which I do recommend for anyone who wants to play Candle Obscura at home. If you're able to build a sheet on Demiplane, it simplifies a lot of things for you. It takes a lot of the guesswork, especially if you're learning how to first build the character or first play. There are free, like, form fillable sheets available online as well if you prefer to work with PDFs, and obviously pen and paper is always good too. But this is a pretty useful tool in my experience.
Okay, I found it. I'm just pulling myself up.
No worries. For more context for the audience, especially those joining us for the first time, this is an unusual bit of Candle Obscura gameplay because it is what is known as Tier 3 gameplay, running what is technically, mechanically, in the circle, considered one last run. So this is end game Candle Obscura gameplay. These are very highly developed character builds. And these are characters that all have at least one scar, in some cases quite a bit on their way toward a second one already. So this is it's a lot of fun to get to play that, and with this wonderful cast all the more. Janie?
Okay, now what am I rolling again so I get this correct?
No worries. You're going to just be rolling sense for me, please. And as a reminder, you can always spend a drive if you feel the need to. This is not the highest of high stakes rolls, but as you saw last session, nothing's really low stakes. So as a reminder to you and the audience, you can spend a drive to add a dice to your dice pool. This is a D6 dice pool system. So it's on top of whatever you're normally given. If you do have the little diamond filled in to the left of sense, that means it's gilded. So you're going to roll one of those dice gilded, whether you use a drive or not. And for the whole group, as a reminder, you do have the ability to help. And you can provide that help action by providing a drive from the same area. So in this case, it would be intuition, up to a dice pool of 6 for a given person. So you can each donate one. When you donate one, you have to spend it on your side. So whether you spend it for you or you spend it for a circle member other than you, that'll be that. Also, please remember to take a look when you can at your circle abilities as well as your regular abilities, because you do have in this together interdisciplinary stamina training, resource management, and as I mentioned, you're on one last run. So within there, you have a little bit of stuff that you can spend and do.
Also, Lightkeeper, just to clarify, you said that we all came into the house of Theseus and we are all alone?
Not alone from each other. You don't see the party.
Just us. Yeah.
Just you. Just you. Yeah. It's a good question. Thank you.
Okay, so I got my gilded is a 2, and then I got a 4 and a 5.
Okay, so there's no real reason for you to take the 2 because you don't need to get any drives back, right? The 4 and the 5 means you got a 5. It ends up at the highest, which is a mixed success, which does mean that you take some consequences. What you get on the way in manifests for you as the sort of foreboding that is as ancient in our bodies as anything we experience. You feel the hunger of this place, a hunger that it never had when you lived here, when it saw much complexity and horror in its own right. And you feel an absence or a twisting. On a 5, it's hard to know which, that you do recognize. It has to do with the 4th Phoros, which, for those watching at home, is the sort of interplanar or demiplanar headquarters of Candela Obscura that all of the chapter houses connect up to. The 4th Phoros connection is threatened, possibly broken in some way. And you feel that lessening or absence as you walk in. You are going to take 1 bleed as a consequence. And as you take that 1 bleed, can you tell me a little bit about the first person who ever died, who you tried to save while you were on the job?
I believe it was I had actually thought about this before. So 1 second while I look at my notes.
Go for it. Yeah, please. And for the rest of y'all, for context, this is all happening instantly as you're crossing the threshold. We'll get to resolving what happens as soon as you cross the threshold, as soon as we're done with this. And I'll probably go around to all of you to resolve things mechanically, and then we'll come around to it at the end for narrative resolution as well.
Okay, so this was one of my very first mission where I lost someone. Well, actually, it was a lot of people, but the person that sticks out the most was someone that seemed very similar to myself. But they just happened to be there and were taking photographs. They were taking photographs for a friend, and their friend was doing a ritual, which is like not a great friend to just, invite you to take photographs at somebody's random ritual, but this is what the person was doing.
Right. Yeah.
And as she was taking the photographs, an unseen force just pushed her against the wall and drained the life from her. And all I could do was to escape from the room because I wasn't experienced enough to deal with it.
Huh.
And to leave someone behind that was innocent and had nothing to do with it, that reminded me of myself, was very traumatic and stuck with me.
you feel yourself back there in that moment right now, and you feel that creature standing before you. It's an edit to the memory. It's as though you weren't able to run, as though you were stuck in place. What do you do?
Well, since I don't think I can run, just want to close my eyes.
As you close your eyes, you feel pressure envelop you. You don't know where it's coming from. It's unlike anything you felt before. You can only imagine it is this creature doing something, grabbing, consuming. But before it resolves, you are back in this moment, having taken one bleed, memory of this intact but changed. You're unsure of what is real. The first thing that you remembered is what you've always thought happened, right? But now, yeah, it feels more real. This new version that hit you, was that always true? Did you just remember it correctly for the first time? Had you blocked it out? Was it changed somehow? And if it was, what does that mean? While you sit with that, who was the first in the door? Can you please, Lucille, go ahead and give me a sense roll as well?
Okie dokie. Sense. Oh, that's not how you do that.
Okay.
Ooh. I got a 2. I got 2 2s and a 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh. Oh no.
So you're gonna take 3 bleed on that.
Oh, I go down.
Okay.
Yeah, I just
So yeah, go ahead.
sorry.
It's
I
okay.
just think I'm at 3 as well.
But you get to go to 4
Okay.
Yeah,
on
that
it
was my
before you
fourth.
take the scar. Yeah,
Okay.
for sure. I meant for 3.
Yeah.
We'll come back to resolve your scar in a moment.
Right.
Who is next? Who is next through the door behind her?
Me think it was both Kabi and Tariq.
All right. Well, y'all are both welcome to roll sense in parallel, and whoever gets results first can tell me. I'm going to come back and resolve all this at the end anyway. And again, you can help each other if you want. This is clearly of reasonable stakes. So if you want to do any of that,
Kabi, is your sense? Your sense is not 3, right? You don't have 3 blips in. I'm going to give you a drive.
No, it's okay. I can use a drive. It's fine.
well, you could do both. And
I'll give you. Yeah,
I'm
going to give you a drive as well.
Okay. All right. We're both gonna use that. All right. I'm gonna. Yep. Well, because last time you helped me prevent from almost going down, but I do still have one. So. Okay, it's fine. Everything's fine. Got a 6 on the gilded die, but it's fine.
Hey, that's beautiful. And yeah, you take the gilded. That's perfect. Love that. 6 on the gilded. Adi, what about on you?
6, not gilded, but 6.
Okay, beautiful. So resolve both those things. Janie, I'm going to need from Ali another sense roll as she comes back to her senses crossing the threshold and hit immediately with this same magical effect.
Okay. I got my guild is a 2, a 3, and a symbol.
The symbol is a 6.
Okay.
The symbol is a 6. So you got a 6. So 666, auspicious. And unfortunately a 3. So let's resolve the 6s first and then come back to the 3 because that's fun. So the 3 of you find yourselves having your vision settle in. You thought that you didn't see anybody around you. And it's a little bit like a fuzzy image coming into focus where you realize maybe the light was bright, like the contrast from inside to outside where they're pointing it was a little intense. It doesn't totally make sense, but it kind of feels right. You find yourselves in a party that looks like what you would expect. You are fully surrounded by people and able to look around as normal. Lucille, on that failure and taking that scar from bleed, you find yourself fully alone in this house. And you realize that you are there on the day that you most hate to remember of your time in this place. Of all of the memories that you made in the House of Theseus, this one is the worst. What's going on?
I think it may have been a day not long after the event that led to Rick to I famously can specifically the name Tariq. It's hard for me to say. I don't know why. There's absolutely no reason for it. Tariq.
Yeah.
The day that he was scarred.
Mm.
I think things were starting to get better. I think the thing that she hates the most about that day is that it's not a day that makes sense to hate, because everybody else but her was happy. Tariq was getting better. The group was closing in cohesively, like the community aspect, like everybody was closing in around somebody needs our help, and so we step in and we help and we support each other. And I think that just really grated the wrong way against her own scar.
Mm.
That in seeing somebody go down, she kind of like took a step back away, like she like cauterized the part of her that that is hurt when other people she cares about are hurt, and feeling that distance between the group coming together and her refusing to do so to protect herself, it filled her with really complicated feelings. She felt it was that good old alone in a crowd feeling, but like colder and heavier. That's the day she hates the most.
That feeling is all that she can feel right now. But she hears a voice that sounds hard to pin down. She thinks it sounds like Keeper Sterling, but it doesn't totally, right? But it has to be, right? You don't remember him being there in this moment. You don't see him right now. But he says, you don't have to carry this. You just let it go. And as that enters your mind in a way that will not leave, you take your scar from bleed. Can you tell us what you remove a dot from and where you add it, and what that tells us about this moment for the seal? Yeah.
Lightkeeper, can we use a resistance to kind of avoid this? Like if in this situation, like
you can use a resistance to re-roll your stuff. So the way that resistance functions is if you have an available resistance in the area, so in this case it would have to be under intuition, you
Mm-hmm.
can burn that resistance. It does not reset while we're like mid assignment. So
Right.
it's like each one is a one and done, with maybe a slight way to get around that, but for the most part, it's one and done. Yeah, so it depends, right? It depends on each build. But like, for example, with Lucille, she has 2 resistances there, would be able to in the future resist, but you're not resisting the scar, to be clear. You're resisting the roll. So you re-roll that roll. But you have to roll like the same amount of dice. You can't add in, like if a drive was spent, like you can't do those. It's your base stuff. It's your stuff that you're re-rolling. But yeah, you can do that for sure. So
what
the scar.
Blaine is getting, the
Yeah.
scar. I think, get back to me on that.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah. Take your time while you do that. All of you, if any of you wants to notice any of what Lucille is going through, I am going to need a roll. I'll take focus or survey, and I'll take pitches for read if you want to pitch read. Does anybody want to do that?
I would like to do a focus, perhaps.
Okay, perfect.
Actually, yeah, I'm going to do a focus, and I am going to spend a drive on that.
Okay.
So that is going to be 3 dice.
Beautiful.
How do I add drive roll?
Do you just need one of these rolls? Sorry, or is this like a?
Any of you. It's for each of you individually. So if any of you want to try to notice what's going on with Lucille, it's not happening in a way that you can just get for free. But you have these kinds of roles available to you if you want. Just remember, obviously, roles have consequences, right?
Yep. I rolled a 4.
Okay, so a 4 is a mixed success. So you do notice. Describe to me how you use focus in this moment narratively. Like, what is it that Tariq is doing to hone in on what is going on with Lucille?
So there's a quick fueler, like, which is like a echolocation kind of clicks that he lets out, and combined with his sense sight, he tries to find his muse and understand what is going on with her.
What
Trying to tap into that connection and use that as an avenue.
Tell me more about the connection. What makes her his muse, and how does that connection help him in this moment?
Lucille is Tariq's muse because words are, it is one of the most fundamental forms of expression, right? It is not as universal as music, because you don't need to know a language to understand or appreciate music. But the sheer finesse with which this poet wields her nib, and the grace with which she has expressed how people feel and be and live in her plays, and the and the just the sheer drive that she has to put into all of this, and yeah, there is a susurration of a connection that is still ineffable, I will say.
Okay. As you utilize that connection, Lucille, still alone, feeling the weight of this moment years ago, having the tempting words of maybe Lightkeeper Sterling ringing in your ears, you feel Tariq around you. You can't. As that carries through and competes with the words ringing in your ear, you have the ability to say something quietly, to use your words. What do you do?
To what effect would she be using her words here?
To try to reach out to Tariq, even though you don't see him there, even though you don't feel him, but you hear that sound. Will it reach him? You don't know. But there is an opportunity that arises in your mind, a wondering of maybe it will.
I think as she hears Drake's whistle and she's torn between the maybe voice of Sterling and the call of her circle member, I think she just kind of shake. I think I'm not unlike what I just did. It doesn't really shake her head, but just kind of like about to make a gesture and then stops and tilts in one side to one side. I think she just kind of whispers, hiding didn't help. And she doesn't really know if she's addressing Tariq or herself or what. But I think in that moment, that's also when her scar starts to really sink in and set in. I know mechanically, I want to move 1 point and hide and put it in 1 point and strike. Because I think at this point, this feeling of immense loneliness, emptiness, isolation, and the temptation of just letting it all, just giving it up and not feeling any of that anymore. But also after having spent this much time with the circle, she would be a fool to ignore the fact that she knows that that's probably not Sterling. And what the voice is asking her to do is there's just too many subtle warning signs. And so narratively, her switch from 1 point and hide to 1 point of strike, she's tired of hiding from her feelings and from other people and from and just the threat of being hurt by either whether it be brain, whether it be bleed, as it is in this moment, because she's already has a scar in brain and she already has a scar in bleed. She doesn't have a scar in body. I think that's the one tactic she's never really leaned into. She has absolutely nothing in nerve, and now she's too goddamn tired. She needs a point and strike because whatever is coming for her, too bad she's not gonna hide or move away from it. It's gonna have to deal with what it finds.
I love that so much. That's so great. As she grabs onto something that she doesn't have much experience with, but feels in this moment is right, and she says those words, they carry across this space to you, Tariq. Even though what you see or sense in this moment, you know, is Lucille shaking slightly, standing stock still, muttering that under her breath, maybe, but you didn't see her mouth move. Eyes flitting back and forth as though they're watching something, but there's nothing there. What do you do?
Me just walk up to her quite like stepping down from the side and behind, and a hand that might be clutching or tight, my hand be sneaking into her hand, and will hold and give one tight squeeze and keep it there, warm,
Your
present.
empty, perfect. Your empty hand, Lucille, feels that squeeze. Do you look down at it?
Yes. I think faster than she's surprised with how quickly she looks down at her hand.
When you do, you see an overlay of realities, this moment in the past or your mind or something else, you can't tell, and something else where your hand is being held. You can give me another sense roll now if you'd like. It is of some importance. And Tariq, you can give a drive if you'd like. The others, unfortunately, you cannot.
I will.
While you're, sorry, go ahead.
I will definitely give it a try.
Thank you. So he'll give a drive, so you can add that to your roll. While you're resolving that, Chanel, for Lucille, I want to go quickly to Ollie and Allegro.
And can I add that I'm doing a little like drum beat on Lucille's wrist, like just in like in time with the beat of her heart.
I think that's perfect, and I would argue that is how you give the drive. That bit of communication is how the drive is delivered. Cabrice and Ollie, have either of you tried to take a look here at what's going on with Lucille?
No, because I was standing there with my eyes closed.
Perfect.
Which is
We'll come
unfortunate.
back.
I know I have this empathy, but yeah, I'm just.
It's entirely cool. We'll come back. We'll come back to that in a second. What about Cabrice?
I think there's the temptation, but it kind of seems like Tweak's got it. There's just like there's like the bit of the like not sure if she should interrupt or not,
Super fair. So the party's happening around you, right? It's funny though, when you try to focus in on any specific part of it, if you try to take too much of it in, it starts to feel fuzzy again, right? And this isn't exactly anything that you've experienced before. You wonder for a second, you have reason to wonder, could this be something with the flare? Is this thinning oriented? Did something happen to you on the way in? But thinnings haven't acted this way before in your experience. Do you try to focus in on a specific part of the party? Do you try to understand a little bit better what's going on with whatever is making it hard for you to focus? Or do you do something else?
I think first things first. Do I see Ollie?
You do see Ollie with her eyes closed. You two see each other plain as day.
Okay. I
don't see because.
Well,
oh, sorry. Indeed. My bad.
I
Very
think,
true.
I think I do want to try and track or see if there's a sign of Vox, but first I'm going to go over to Ollie and sort of give like are you okay?
I'm not here.
I think unfortunately you are. Why Ollie, what are you doing here?
The letter made me come here, and I had to save I have to save someone.
Who do you have to save?
G, game runner. What's the name again of the
Doris?
Lightkeeper.
sculptor?
Oh,
Lightkeeper.
for Lightkeeper Sterling. Yeah, Lightkeeper.
No,
Lightkeeper me.
not Sterling. The
Yeah.
it was the sculptor.
Oh, Vox.
Oh,
Oh.
Vox.
Vox.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to say Vox.
I'm sorry. What? Why?
Because Vox told me to pull myself up by my bootstraps, and Vox would never say that.
That's fair. I'm sorry. So Vox told you to come here too, or something,
And
or I
it was a
guess
letter.
didn't tell you.
It was a letter. It was and the letter said to pull my, and Vox wouldn't say that, so there's something wrong.
Right? Yeah. No. Wouldn't say that. Okay. Well, I'm gonna go look for Vox if you'd like to join.
Okay,
Or
but I'm
if-
not opening my eyes.
Oh.
All right. So the two of you are going to roll to see what you're able to find in this party. I'm going to say that should be a survey roll, but I will take pitches if you want to do something else. You can help each other, but only each other right now. So like you can give each other a drive and spend a drive of your own if you want. Like I said, all rolls are at least yay important here, right? In this, it's a very high stakes game we're playing. So always feel free to spend if you're nervous about it, or you want to make it more likely you're going to have a chance of succeeding. While you're sorting that out, do you have any questions? Do you want to pitch anything else to me, or do you want to do a survey?
How's your survey?
Mine is great. I got a
Are you in the 2 or the 3 territory?
No, I got my gilded was a 3, but the 6 was my other thing. Like it was a 6 and a 1. I know the 6 is what counts, right?
Yeah, the 6 is always what counts.
Great.
Yeah.
You don't need. Okay, great, perfect.
With my eyes closed.
With your eyes closed, which is wild. Let me say.
I'm using my empathy.
Yeah.
I'm using my
That empathy is powerful.
Okay, I'm fine over here too.
Also,
Okay.
Lightkeeper, because of Blood of Covenant, I recover to drive in
Beautiful.
intuition.
Please go ahead. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Though I'm going to ask you when we get back to you right now to tell me how that happens. Right. But yeah, go ahead and do it. So Allegro, what was the roll on your side?
Got 2 6s.
2 6s. That is a critical success. So we're going to come back to that success with eyes closed and critical success, which is a lot, in a second. But let's go back to Lucille and resolve where things were there. Can you bring us back to this moment for Lucille, please?
Mechanically or narratively?
Both, if that's okay. Just a reminder to the audience of where we're at mechanically, and then drop us in narratively to how she's feeling.
So she's standing in this room by herself. She feels like she can hear Sterling talking to her from somewhere. She can also hear Tariq whistling. And she can feel the drumming on the pulse points of her wrist. And on that drive rolls a 6. So I don't remember what thing I'm trying to do is, but
don't worry. You got a 6. You did it. You did it. What you did actually is you got tethered back to this moment in time with Tariq. And as you look down, the overlay of these realities settle in to the one where your hand is being held by your friend, who is...
Emancipate yourself from mental chain. None but ourselves can free our minds. Have no fear of eldritch energy, because none of them can stop us.
So he's beating a heartbeat in sync with yours into your palm, I think it was, and there is a co-regulating that is offered to you, at least in this moment, that helps settle you back in. Do you can come in with eyes closed or eyes open? What would you do?
I think her eyes were always open.
So your eyes watch the impossible geometry of this movement through time and maybe space, as you are no longer, you are in the same position, but you are no longer where you just were or when you just were. You find yourself now fully able to see a quite active, uh, slightly raucous party happening around you, just in time to see Ollie with eyes closed and Cabris not with eyes closed, heading out into the crowd in front of you. What do you do?
I think in feeling the hand, like the connection, like returning to reality. She tightens her grip on Tariq's hand, and I think that's where, because bleed scars have like a magic effect to them, right? I think as she tightens her grip, she like recoils a little bit because it's a tighter grip than she's used to feeling. And let's say her veins, it's not seeing, no one's looking down at their hands, but she feels it. She can feel the bleed in her cardiovascular system, less in relation to like her actual blood, but she can feel like in the capillaries, in the exchange between her muscles and the systems that support like the strength of her body. That's where she feels that the bleed has like settled into her body. That's where the strike, but then also I guess in the slight inability of um being able to hide anymore. I don't know what that would be. Like maybe she's a little shiny now. I don't know. But it's in that moment that like she feels that, and then in seeing Ollie and Cabrice, sorry, um disappearing into the crowd. When she entered the room initially, she was making a beeline for Sterling. So I think the action she will take is take like a suggestive step forward to where she thinks she should go, whether it's in the same direction as she just like physically signals I'm going, and then doesn't let go of Tarek's hand, just kind of like looks over and like tugs his arm in the direction she's going, like a silent question of, are you coming with me?
Like
Okay.
fire, girl. You think me gonna leave you alone this time?
He laughs.
So he goes with you, and you're looking for Sterling. Go ahead and also roll me a survey to see if you find him. Tariq can help if he wants, and we'll come back to that. The It's so tempting. I don't know which way to go. An eyes closed 6 or a critical success. They both are equally amazing. So,
Oh, and
yeah.
also, like the blood of the covenant. A long time
Yes.
ago, there was a ward that I had put on all of my circle members, and once that ward is shattered, as they take a mark, that comes back to me and lets me know that shit is going down, and I have to be present and ready. So in that sense, like the ward shatters, the energy comes and gives him renewed purpose and renewed drive.
Love that. As he feels that and is being led forward by Lucille, let's start with the 6 for Ollie. Eyes closed, but ears unclosable, right? What Ollie hears is the sound, she could swear, of Vox singing. Has she heard Vox sing a lot?
I think in the past, I think she heard it a lot a few years ago, but kind of not as much as, well, Ollie kind of has a lot of relationships with a lot of people and drifted away from being around Vox as much.
Well, if you can call a bunch of rocks in a bag shacking around being called song, yeah, sure, that could be called singing.
It's mixed in. It seems like Vox is singing along with something, and you recognize the song as one that gives you great comfort. What is it?
I think it's a jingle from some random product that was being sold.
Why does it give you so much comfort?
Because I was hanging out with Vox and we probably went by somebody selling that product, and it was just one of those ridiculous moments where you just kind of laugh. And the
Love
person
that.
was just like always in our face with this thing.
You drifted away from Vox, as you mentioned, over time. And during that time, whether it has to do with why you drifted away or was happenstance, even at a distance, you were able to pick up that Vox laughed less. Vox got more tired more of the time. Vox got angrier. Vox got sadder. As empathetic as you are, even at a distance, you were able to track that. What you're hearing now is not just reminding you of when you were closer to her because of that memory. It's reminding you because you hear in her voice and in that laughter a lightness, a relief that has not existed in her in years. Now, on a critical success, Cabris, you see Vox with a group of musicians and other folks. Begs the question of what defines a musician, right? They're all making music right now. Vox included, which is rare in your experience for Vox to be joining in on this sort of thing. Usually, at most, quietly and hiding it somewhat, enjoying the music at a distance is more the mode that Vox tends to be in, especially in crowds. But here, you see Vox having the time of her life, fully letting loose. Samira nowhere in sight, by the way. Just laughing and singing, dancing a little bit with random people, not in a way that would even spark any jealousy necessarily in this moment, because it doesn't seem to be about them. It's about her, right? This is a critical success, as I established last session. the way that I'm handling critical successes in this assignment, you can ask me one thing, anything that you want related to what you rolled, and I will fully tell you the truth about it. But you know, monkey's paw, right? Like, it's be careful how you phrase it.
I think Cabris is really like shocked and stunned, and while there's like a happiness to see like his love happy, there's that piece of like, that looks too good to be true, and guilt for thinking that. But on that note, I guess my question is this truly and absolutely like unfiltered Vox, or is she under the influence of something?
Well, this isn't Vox at all. But I said I was going to give you the whole truth. It's a part of Vox. It's a part of Vox that you haven't seen in a long time. But it isn't Vox.
Can I take out that the art restores loop, the monocle?
Absolutely. Tell us and tell the folks at home what it does. Go ahead and read
it. So that's a monocle. It functions as a magnifying glass that can see things like invisible to naked eyes. And I guess I'm wondering if that extends beyond just like the very small, and if it also like will show me like signatures or other perhaps more magical clues as to what's going on over there.
It absolutely can. I will take a moment to remind you and everyone that knowledge is dangerous and what is known cannot be unknown. If you do decide, if Cabris does decide to look through this loop at this site, they will see what is real, and they will immediately have to do an incredibly high stakes roll. High stakes enough roll that they will automatically take a scar if they fail. If they get anything other than a 6, actually, they'll take a scar. 6 or a
joy. Yeah. Well, yeah. I think unfortunately Cabris is going to do it anyways.
I mean, people can help. People can help. You're all in the middle of looking at this. Like, so you're all in the middle of investigating the space, right? I know that two of you are looking for Sterling, but you're all moving in this similar direction. You could, if you want to, notice what Cabris is doing. You would all be aware of what this item does, right? And if you wanted to, I would just need a little bit of what you're doing in order to help. And this is going to be a sense roll, so this is intuition, right? That you'd be sending a drive over for. As a reminder, each of you, if you want, you don't have to, can donate a drive. Plus, you have a drive. You can spend 1 drive, Allegro. How many dots do you have in sense?
I have 2.
So the max dice pool in this game is 6. So what that means is, with the 2 that you have, if you spend a drive, that gets to 3. If each of you were to donate a drive, which you don't have to, but if you were, you could get to 6 overall, and you could roll 66. This is not gilded, right? You don't have...
it is gilded.
Oh, it is gilded. Okay, so 66, one of which would be gilded, and then you can do that. Now, as a note, you can burn a resistance on this as well if you don't like the outcome of that. But you would only re-roll the 2 that you had,
Okay.
including the gilded. You wouldn't re-roll
That's
that 50.
good to know.
I mean, I'd give a drive.
I'll definitely be putting one
Myself
in.
also. It's in what? What is the roll?
It is
Intuition.
a sense roll, so it's intuition. It's an intuition drive.
Okay. I'm gonna use cool under pressure to give a cunning instead.
Oh, I love that. That's beautiful.
Ooh,
That's
let's go.
fantastic. That's very cool. And I'm gonna want narrative descriptions in a second before we do the roll of how each of you are helping. Ollie?
Muted.
Oh, you're muted. Sorry.
Wow, I was muted and my eyes are still closed.
And you're still rolling incredibly well. It's the power of Ollie's empathy is undeniable. Yeah.
I think, is there a way I could like use my empathy?
Yeah, 100% there is. I just need you to, especially on something like an intuition drive being given for a sense roll. I fully buy that the way that your empathy functions that can narratively support this. But do you have a drive that you want to give?
Yes. Oh, come on, show up again for me. I'm talking to my thing and I said it out loud and I meant to say it mentally. Nobody
It's
heard that,
okay.
right?
That's perfect. That's cool. That's very in the moment where we're at right now, where there is a thinning between the internal and external life, right?
Did you say something? I didn't hear anything.
Okay. I think I'm going to use intuition. I would think this would be like a sense. Like, you know how if somebody you know was in a room, you can kind of feel that that's them. And I want to kind of use that kind of I don't know, call it knowing. Is it that kind of sense?
I think that
Sixth
kind of
sense,
sense.
like you give an extra like that's the like there's 5 senses, but because you're like giving a 6th sense, that's where the drive is because it is a
Yeah,
sense.
I love
kind
that.
of like
Yeah, that's
like
perfect.
I
I love
yeah.
that. That's very cool.
Yeah, I see dead
I-
people, but it's not really, but I do kind of.
a little bit. You don't not. I'll say that. So you with the power of your empathy, literal, visceral power of your empathy that touches the world around you. You reach out and touch Cabris, allowing Cabris to see a little bit more clearly in a way that they might be able to handle a bit more because they know that they are not alone. Tariq, what do you do to share your drive?
Cabri's fully rolling their eyes before putting them on a cloth.
but with that eye rolling more fully in their body, he's grounded in this moment, and in spite of themselves, because of the sort of interruption of that mentally from the stakes of the moment, a little bit more regulated, right? Coming in like heartbeat's a little more regular, breath is a little more controlled. Lucille,
The entire subtext of that was, by the way, red flag, red flag, red flag, red flag.
so fair. And Lucille, how do you use cunning in this moment to help?
It's like a blink and you miss it moment, but in being around each other so long as a circle, it's a very noticeable signal for Cabrice, but it's not something that Lucille is really doing intentionally. There's just a moment as Lucille is walking past, let's say, she could be very determined. She's clearly walking in the direction of an objective, but there is like a little hitch in her step. She slows and she gets momentarily distracted, looks at Vox, and then her eyebrow just kind of like raises ever so slightly, and it's that like moment of like, what is that about anyway, on to what I'm doing. Just the fact that it was something that could derail Lucille even a little bit is like a enough of a, something is going on here, that's what like gives that extra drive to really hone in on what is happening.
I love that. With all of that help well felt and the uncanny nature of this moment still present, entering into a move that, with your deep experience as a highly talented and accomplished retired member, you don't feel very retired right now, of Candela Obscura, uh, this is dangerous. Before you roll 66 and let us know where that lands, Cabris, how do you feel going into this moment with all of that being true?
There's fear. There's fear for what she's going to see. And there's this really bittersweet nostalgia of feeling everyone's support. And there's this like desperate desire for like, maybe I'm a little off, maybe I'm a little wrong, maybe everything is fine, maybe I'm not going to see anything behind this loop, and maybe Vox is just really weirdly happy, and maybe everything's going to be okay. And the like back of the head voice that's like, that's not true.
But you can dream, right?
But you can dream.
All right, roll me 66. One of them gilded, please.
This might take a second because I only have 2 physical dice on me right now.
Go for it.
Okay.
And to clarify, if now Allegro does get it picks the gilded dice, anyone who contributed drive can get their drive back?
Let me double check that to make sure. I think possibly. I think that might be up to the player, and there might be GM discretion.
I see.
I will let you know in just a moment. Where did that come down?
I kept rolling 5s and 2s until the last die, which was a 6.
Hey! All right. So here's what I'd like from you, given that. Please, before I resolve, obviously, my side of what needs to be resolved here, what does it feel like for your friends who you have not really seen since you all retired to be coming together in this moment to help you deal with this?
What was the first part of the question?
So your friends who you have not really seen since you stopped working together, who haven't reached out as much as you might have hoped, who you haven't reached out to as much as you might have thought you would, have each given a piece of themselves in this moment without you having to ask, and in a way that was without hesitation given. How do you feel knowing you only are okay right now because they helped?
There's immediately a sense of regret, but it is tempered by relief. As much as Cabrice does not miss circle work, there is an element of like feeling like everything ended before it should have. And it it feels nice to not be alone in a moment. Even if perhaps what he's doing is reckless. And maybe logically they should not be helping. But also, like, maybe it's okay.
Be like riding a bike, man.
I will say, to answer your question from before, Adi, it unfortunately does not look like the drive can go to anyone who gave. It goes to the person who rolled. But that I'm comfortable treating. It was the final one, the 6 on the gilded.
Mm-mm.
No, okay,
No.
then never mind.
Sorry.
But it's cool. Especially since people are spending drives a bit more now this session. Anytime you do take a gilded, even if it is a 6, right, you do get a drive back in that category. So it has to be in the category that you're rolling in, right? You are able to take a drive back if you have a drive to take back in that moment. I do also want to remind you all that you have stamina training. So as a circle, you have 3 gilded dice at the beginning of every assignment that anybody can add as an extra d6 to any roll. But once it's been rolled, it's expended for all of you. So you don't each have 3 that you can use. You have it as a group, but you can do that without spending a drive. And it's a gilded also, so it can get you a gilded back. You can roll 2 gilded in that situation on a single thing. It's pretty good. Let me see. All right, so with that success, you are able to see through the loop that this flickers and fades in the manner of a projection. You are seeing, you realize here a loop of a portion of a party that you now remember happened maybe in the first year that you all were a circle in this room. And you wouldn't have thought of it because it was very early on. The circle didn't know each other very well yet. You didn't know Vox very well at all. And most of the other people, you can't even remember the names of the other people who are around Vox right now, having a blast. Vox and Samira were not together yet. They actually kind of didn't like each other at this point. This is, you realize, a memory that is being played to adorn this space as though a party is occurring. Now, when you look to the side of the loop, it still looks like flesh and blood. They're just doing it. They're just doing the thing right here. It's happening right now, right? Vox is not looking around at anybody who's not in that experience. You look through the loop, you see that again. You look around, not through the loop, at the rest of the party, and it all just still looks like people moving around, milling about, singing, playing other instruments. People you're now noticing, and this is something all of you at the table are able to take in whatever way that you feel is right for your character in this moment. Sights, sounds, smells. It is real comfortable, y'all. Like, it is a nice, fun, welcoming party. When each of you looks into the varying corners of this place, you see flashes of things that make you feel deeply at home. Lucille, what kind of dish would like take you back to your childhood? Just be like, that's so good. I wish I could have that all the time. Something makes you feel safe, though, not just that you like the food.
Oxtail.
All right. Any particular preparation?
I think stewed. That's the only way I've had it. Stewed
Nice.
oxtail.
I love that. So you get the distinct aroma of that hitting you from a different corner of this place. And there's something in you. I'm gonna give this to you for free, not even magical, right? If you agree with this, there's something in you that immediately before anything else might hit says, "Man, that'd be good right now," right? Like that. That is beautiful. I'm gonna ask you to hold on to, for the moment, a memory connected to that smell, and then we're gonna come back to that. Ollie, you still got your eyes closed now?
Yes.
So what do you hear that reminds you of being a little girl, having a great time, feeling safe, a time in your life before you really understood how unforgiving the world can be?
I hear music. It's violin. It's
Okay.
probably it's classical. It's um I want to say it might even be you know what? It's the Kreutzer Sonata of Beethoven,
Okay.
and she just remembers hearing it at parties when she was younger. Somebody like playing it at the party and people standing around and clapping, and she would run around hiding, watching it, sneaking snacks off the table. Um, playing it's a big game. It was like a big game for her, but she didn't realize it was, some fancy party a lot of people were having a great time at, or pretending to have a great time at, because those parties aren't really very fun.
That that memory feels immediate right now, and you hear something in the technique of this violin that makes you swear it's the same player. It's been a long time. You don't even know if that person's alive still, but it sounds just like them. They
That's
had
a
a little something extra they put into it, right?
it's a really hard piece to play. So I think
Mm.
when she hears that, she's gonna like peek a little.
All right. All right. You're going to give me a survey, please, and then we're going to come back to that. Tariq, for
Quick
you,
clarification. Quick
yeah,
clarification.
yeah,
Before I came here, I was extremely sus about everything that is happening. Just
yes.
saying that. Just saying that.
So, from that position of deep susness, Tariq, what is happening in this space? You can tell me how you perceive it. Uh, that is devastatingly disarming for you and your susness.
It's it's a it'd be a party. It'd be the time when people relax, let go of their selves and lose themselves in the moment, in the life, in the living of it. That be, I think, the thing that gets past his defenses just a little bit.
So that infectious spirit of the party hits, and you realize that not in the corner where Vox is, what was he said, like rocks in a bag, right? But in a different corner that your incredibly well attuned hearing can easily distinguish, you hear some folks jamming different instruments, clearly just like you've experienced this a million times in your life, right? You know what this is, and you could swear you could even tell like some of the people doing percussion, somebody playing like an upright bass, like that. You think you know these people, right? um what do you do with that?
I uh, uh, I think there is going to be uh, Lucille's hand is still in Tariq's hand, right? At this point,
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
think there's going to be like while he was getting pulled away, it was just like a gentle like hold, But in that moment, there is a deeper, like, grip, not a tight grip, but like a deeper, just kind of like, girl, these things be pulling me away. Me no want. Please keep me in the moment and in the now. Lucille, me need help.
With that, Lucille, I want to come back to the memory that we said we were going to come back to. What do you got?
It's more of a time lapse. From like a camera perspective, it looks as though someone has set up a video camera in front of, or like in the living room of her grandmother's house, but facing the kitchen. So the entire kitchen is in frame, but she's not within the kitchen, she's observing the kitchen. And it looks like a time lapse in that from the outside the windows, you can see the light change from sunlight to moonlight to sunlight to moonlight. And you can see the blurred smears of people moving in and out of the kitchen, of a sudden cloud, a flurry of activity, as members of the family gather in the kitchen for some kind of event and then disperse again, a singular person coming in to put in a dish. It's just like a map of the activity, the rise and fall and the ebb and flow of the family activity in her grandmother's kitchen specifically. And you can see over the years, objects having moved, having broken, repaired, decoration is changing, but it is the specific architectural build of the room itself remaining constant. That's the memory that the smell of that oxtail brings her to, the constants of her grandmother's kitchen.
In this moment, Lucille is experiencing a blissful dual consciousness. There's a part of Lucille that knows she's at the party and knows that the smell of oxtail, delicious as it is coming from a corner she can see, with people she can see and stuff that she knows is there. She can go partake of right now. Seems like it'll be delicious. Somehow at the same time, she is standing in that doorway of that kitchen. How long ago would you say her grandmother died?
She was 7. The kitchen, it still belongs to family. It belongs to her aunt. So the kitchen, most of the memory of the kitchen is memory without her grandmother. So it's been decades. And I think that probably lends to the blur of time in the memory of it all.
What's the strongest association? 7's really young, right? Mm-hmm. There's a lot that's going to get lost. What's the strongest thing that survives about her grandmother?
Herself. Because she doesn't really remember who her grandmother was as a person, but she has a lot of memories of family members telling her that she's similar to who her grandmother used to be.
So she sees in this kitchen blurry movement of her aunt included, but lots of family members, some she hasn't seen in a long time, some who aren't around anymore. And at the center of it, smiling with a hand out to her, is her grandmother, who looks exactly like her. So Lucille sees her grandmother and herself holding a hand out, with the oxtail right behind her, smelling as good as ever. What do you do?
It may come down to a roll, but she definitely doubles down in resisting this. and tries to lock herself into the objective of find Sterling, stay in reality. Specifically, the thing that pulls her in, but also simultaneously is a warning sign that makes her force herself backwards. She doesn't look anything like her grandmother. So it's nice. It's so nice. Wouldn't that just be so wonderful? But it's not, is it?
I think if you agree that this is going to be a focus role, because I believe that what is anchoring her is a clarity of memory, and remember is under focus. So I'll take a pitch for something else if you want something else, but that is what I think is helping her try to fight this off. It feels so good. It smells so good, right? And just for forecasting, Adi, so that you're ready on deck, how well or poorly this goes will have at least an indirect impact on what I'm going to ask you next. And then I'm going to check in on you, Ollie, and then Allegra, we're going to come back to Cabris. I'm saying for the end of that.
I had a smidgen because I'm beginning to understand how you work, Danny. Slime. Sorry.
All right. So focus. I will say I will accept assistance from Adi, but probably only Adi unless somebody gives me a really good pitch on a drive if you want to give a drive to assist. Otherwise, I believe you have 2 in focus and 1 is gilded. To start, you can spend a resistance if you want, or sorry, a drive if you want.
What are the stakes for this?
Oh, they're pretty high. If you fail, you're going to go toward the thing. You're not going to be able to control it.
Take a drive.
Yeah, I think in that and she's intentionally trying to push back. I will do a drive.
No, I'll take an additional drive from me.
Ooh, thank you.
Love that.
What am I doing here? That's focus. Okay, focus and 2 drives, and I'll take 1 drive down. Rolling. Oh, a 6 on the gilded and a 6 on the drive. Let's go.
That is a critical success. Beautiful. And you get a drive back because you were able to take the result on the gilded. So you take a drive back. Couldn't have been a better, literally the best roll, everybody, in Candela Obscura. Want everybody to know that. Yeah, with that critical success. 20. Yeah, exactly. The nat it's kind of like the double advantage. You know what I mean? Like when you have to roll disadvantage, the 2 nat 20s.
2 nat 20s on a disadvantage. That's what that feels like.
A little bit of that. There's a little bit of that. Yeah. So the smile on your not grandmother is stark. It does not reach her eyes, and her face is quivering. With this clarity of vision, you see that she is standing stock still and shaking. And something in your body remembers that that's what you were like just a couple of minutes ago. And you recognize in your face yourself trapped in a memory. And on this critical success, you're able to hold on to your grandmother. You see her emerge from behind your trapped self, looking exactly as she did, and puts a hand on your trapped self's shoulder. And the relief and safety you see yourself feel washes over you as the you in front of you disappears. And the memory fades. And you still see the oxtail that's offered today with the critical success. You get to ask me 1 question that is focus oriented. So remember, inspect, analyze, etc. about this. Anything you want, I'll answer it fully. What would you like to ask?
as an artist, especially one who tends to have a little bit of ink on her fingers, Lucille has developed a sensitivity to the artist's hand, fingerprint, sometimes literally or metaphorically. And in this moment, I think she also remembers hearing her dad, her grandmother's son, saying, "I know your hand," in reference to tasting someone's food and being able to tell who cooked it. And in that moment, she's using that focus to see if she can find who made that happen.
Okay.
Whose marks, whose artists, what maker left their mark on this?
She's able to follow that intuition exceptionally well across the room, which is, you're now realizing, feels vaster. You know how rooms sometimes look actually counterintuitively bigger with furniture in it, right? She's wondering maybe for a second if it's that. She doesn't remember this sort of like initial entry room of the House of Theseus being quite this big. It feels like there's a lot of people in here for that. But it doesn't feel uncomfortable. It doesn't feel squished. Her attention goes toward one of what she realizes is more passageways out of this room than she remembers. Did they remodel? Has it been just long enough that she's not, like, is it starting to fade for her? But she was here for over 10 years. She'd remember, right? To a man in a reasonably well-kept pinstripe suit, dapper, in a controlled way, understated in the sense of confidence, slick, tall, who she does not recognize, but who we know above table from last session. And do you look him in the eyes?
I think she does. I think if she were to be looking, the distance from her to this person that she's making direct eye contact with, a normal human being would be startled to be locked onto from that distance. It is a intense eye contact that she is walking into.
He
That's a
looks
big
back
risk.
at you. Yeah. He looks back at you as though he was expecting you.
Black fire.
And he smiles, and you hear across the room in a way that you shouldn't be able to with the amount of noise that there is in the extreme distance. You're really on like opposite sides of this larger than you remember room. He says, not shouting, "I'm glad you could come.
Yeah.
You don't have to roll for anything right now. But you do have to live with that." Adi, Adi, tell me what you want to do now in this moment as you are pulled toward the ecstasy of co-creation, that ineffable flow state that you hit when you're jamming with people and it just fits, right? And it's easy and it's fundamental, right? There is a flow to the universe. There is an argument to be made that the language the universe speaks more than anything else is music, because music is math made beautiful and felt, right? You are invited into that, and you're good. You're so good at it. And it feels good to be good, right? It feels good to be good at something. for it to be easy and feel right. You want as much of that as you can in the time you have left, in the shadow of the horrors that you experienced in service of this place, not just this building, but what it represents for you. You're holding your friend's hand. You're not alone, but you are feeling the day a little bit. It's been a long set of years, right? What do you want to do?
In that moment when the symphony of notes and beats calls to him as a cardinal call, I think Tariq looks in on himself, and there is while there is harmony there is resonance closer to me. In the first instrument that was made was a drum and percussion, and so I think in that moment the beat of the heart of my friend is what keeps me anchored and there. And I think Tariq knows he good at music, but it's not always the easy path that leads to greatness. So I think in that moment, Tariq shakes his head and with the beat of Lucille's heart in his hand, I think comes back to that and will look towards those musicians and then turn away to Lucille and would see the dude. Does he see the dude who made the oxtail?
He can, but before we get to that, I'm going to need a focus roll to see how easily he maneuvers the first part, and then we can resolve that second part.
All right. I don't have too much on drive, but I'm not gonna burn the drive this time.
And I was gonna say, and Lucille, you can help if you want. I just need to know how. And give a drive if you'd like. And as a reminder, if you have a resistance and you don't like where this lands, Adi, you can burn it. Just remember, it doesn't come back.
Yeah. This is another high stakes roll.
Yeah. I mean, these are all essentially in the same world, right? What you all are dealing with in this moment is more or less at the same level of difficulty. If it's harder for anyone, I will call that out. But otherwise, consider what we've experienced so far, the floor of what's being experienced.
I asked that because I want to use Cool Under Pressure again, and that is exclusively for high stakes rolls.
Yeah, no, 100% it is. Yeah. You're gonna have a lot of opportunities for that probably, because this is a pretty high stakes roll kind of situation. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna give one drive of cunning.
Beautiful.
Yeah, let's go. So I have overdrive from that, and I'm gonna roll.
Actually, before you do you mind telling us narratively how Lucille uses cunning in this moment to help?
I think it's flavored by sway, in that she sees, she feels the pull, like she knows that she's being pulled towards the oxtail, and she knows the music that she's hearing would be a pull for Tariq, and so she just very quietly goes, just loud enough for him to hear.
That is beautiful. I love that. All right, go ahead, Adi, and roll for Tariq. How many d6s are you rolling?
So I have 2 in focus now. So with the drive, I'm rolling 3.
With the drive that you're getting from Lucille, you're not spending your own. So you're going to do 3. Is one of them gilded?
I only have 3. I only have 3 left. So I'm not gonna.
No
I'm not gonna burn too much because somehow I keep getting you. Yes, I'm gonna roll I'm gonna roll now. Yeah.
Are any of them gilded or no? You're not. Nothing
Yes,
gilded
gilded.
there.
Gilded 6. Fuck yes.
Oh, so you
Let's
get a
go.
drive back. You get a drive
Yeah.
back in that category, and
Let's go.
you succeed fully. So so everything you just described happens as you described. Is there anything on the way to seeing this person who made the oxtail that you would like to add in light of that success?
Hmm. Hmm. I think as as uh, as Tariq is grounded by his friend and muses, uh, he, I think, will just kind of shake and his head again and kind of uh, look up and just kind of like pull the glasses down and the voids of his white eyes just kind of look out at the world and puts it back on, uh, and will do a quick little whistle to kind of change the mood of the people who are playing from it would have been a light jazz kind of situation, but now it's going to change to a little bit more blues kind of tone. Like there's a just a feeling that makes the musicians go for slightly deeper bass tones, slightly more um, yeah, more gravitas.
And as that gravitas rings in your ears and your vision shifts from them over to this pinstripe person, what do you do?
uh, have, Having seen Lucille shake her head, I think Tariq would let go of the hand that he's holding, step around in front of Lucille, and take the other hand with the other hand, and is just like looking straight in the direction of this dude with like the most like straight face, just like come at me, brother. You know.
He laughs, and you hear, as though it's whispered right here, even though he's across the room from you, as you watch his lips move. I'm a little surprised to see you here. Thought you'd know better.
Dan, me be more stupid than you think, brother.
We'll see. We'll pause there. You don't have to roll anything on that. Ollie, we owe a resolution over there. Do you want to drop us into the roll that you did?
Yes, I will tell you this was a good roll. I was really happy about it. I got a 5 on the gilded dice and 2 6s.
That's beautiful. Do you want to take the mixed success on the gilded to get a drive back, or do you want to stick with the critical success? I have a recommendation of sticking with the critical success. I just need to ask.
Yeah, I want to stick with the
okay.
critical success.
Cool. Love that. So describe to us what it feels like for you to, with your empathy fully extended in this room, in this moment, be completely grounded in reality, using that as a conduit, right? You have as much clarity as anyone in this room about what is actually happening here, because you can feel something essential about who's here and who isn't, and what people are trying to do. describe how that feels to Ollie, please.
It kind of feels like how sometimes, like, there's some animations that will have to just throw a person in it,
Mhm.
and it sort of feels like you would imagine that to kind of be the only kind of solid thing.
Someone's at the front door doorbell.
Um, you just like I was thinking a better way to say it, like an observer.
Okay. With that critical success, you can ask me anything right now that touches on what you rolled and the context that I just described, and I will answer it. Yeah.
What is actually going on in the room?
What is actually going on? What is actually going on in the room is that you are surrounded by a mix of people and memories. There are indeed some other people there. You haven't encountered it before, so it's a little hard for you to articulate it more clearly than this, but there are captured or excised memories being placed. And the thing that you really get in asking that question is less even the revelation that is a mix of magically excised memories and actual people. The truth you get to on the critical success is that just like that oxtail is served up in relation to your friend Lucille's comfort and desire, the way that the music is served up as a way of ecstatically escaping the confines of a tired life for Tariq, and even the way that Vox's memory of happiness was dangled in front of Cabris, who you know loves Vox so much. These memories are there to be consumed. Just like that oxtail, you could walk over and eat it. There's something in this room that's going to eat that memory right up. And they're coming for yours. They're coming for all of yours. You know this, Ollie. But unless you tell people, none of the rest of y'all know.
Okay, can I do two things?
Yeah, pitch them. Let's do it.
I do want to speak out about what's going on, but I want to take a picture.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of which camera I'm going to use.
That was going to be my next question. So good looking out. Yeah.
I have my regular camera and I've got this special camera.
You want to tell the folks at home about the special camera?
Yes, once I find the description of it.
Sure. No worries. If it's helpful, it's also pinned in our chat for the show.
That helps so much. Yes, it's the camera obscura, a moving picture camera, red tinted and covered in sigils. It is heavy brass and allows its user to see and speak with spirits. Activating it causes one bleed. Looking at it through it at a spirit causes one bleed.
So you could take up to 2 bleed even on a success using that camera. But, you know, who knows what's fun.
Does that mean if there are more than 4 spirits in the camera frame, there's
it doesn't stack. It doesn't stack. Okay. It'll just be the one bleed. It'll just be yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I'm not here to be mean, you know. Like,
okay, that's good to know. Good to know. Duly noted.
I will say, keep in mind what's happened already, and that's not me being mean, right?
Yeah,
remember that too.
Oh
Yeah.
my
I'm
god.
I'm a
Yeah.
little worried because
Uh,
I can't take any, like I can only take one more bleed before I get a scar.
Okay. Oh, well, then
uh,
using the camera would automatically give you a scar at this
Okay.
point, because just using it gives you a bleed, whether you see anything through it or
I
not.
mean,
And then
uh,
once you potentially see a spirit through it, that also gives you a bleed.
I mean, I have some more space in my containment vial, right? Could I absorb a bleed from uh, Ollie?
You can. I just need you to tell me how you're doing it. But given where things are at in everybody's actions right now, I fully buy that.
Okay.
Mm, mm,
But
mm,
yeah,
mm.
Ollie will use the special camera to take the picture, even though it will have consequences. I do also have grounding salts.
So yeah, you might want to do something with those grounding salts. You want to tell the
Okay.
folks at home what the grounding salts do?
Grounding salts take one body to soak one bleed. There's only three uses of it. They're bitter, large pills that cause immediate physical pain when ingested.
So from a planning perspective, for clarity mechanically, even if Tariq takes one bleed off of you, you were one bleed away already
Right.
from a scar. So if you use the camera and then find what you're hoping to look for, which is a spirit or something like that, you'll take a second bleed. You'll still get a scar unless you also, on top of what Tariq does, take one of your three salts, in which case you'll be far enough away that even with this use, you'll be back up to where you are right now, which is one away from a scar.
Okay. I think I'll do that. I'll pop one of the salts in my mouth.
Cool.
And
Describe to me for a second, if you can, before we resolve the help. Describe to me how you like how it feels for these salts to rack your body with pain, giving you one body as you take away one bleed.
I think that it first starts with like a headache, and then it just spreads throughout the body to it like just pain all throughout the head, the eyes, the hands. And since this is such a severe thing, I believe you hear like a crack in her hand.
Okay.
So it'll be harder to take pictures.
Okay.
And I think if she does take the three, she taking pictures will be a lot harder because of the body disfigurement.
100%. And I think with that headache, if you'll agree, there's maybe a little bit of light sensitivity going on
Yes.
too, right?
Yes.
Tariq, the help that you're going to give.
um, when I when Tariq see Ollie pull out camera, he knows how it goes, and he would immediately pull out the buffalo heart. Like, he doesn't give a fuck. It's a party. People are busy. Like, yeah, he will pull out the heart immediately and just kind of hold it out in Ollie's direction, and in and the the heart as one bleed is taken out.
You pull that bleed out. Ollie, how does it feel to have your friend take this bleed away in this moment of vulnerability for you?
I think it's like taking a really strong aspirin or painkiller. It just helps like the headache. I believe the light sensitivity is still going on.
Copy. But it's lessened, right?
Yeah,
It's a little bit more
it's a lot. It's
manageable for
less than
sure.
a lot.
Yeah. Uh, I'm going to ask you to tell me what you're trying to take a picture of, where you're looking, and then we're going to hold that to resolve as we go to Cabris and then go to break. But go ahead.
It's she's trying to, since there seems to be activity around the person with the oxtail,
Mhm.
she's trying to take a picture of that. Because if she can show the circle, this picture,
So you're looking back at the person in the pinstripe suit that
yes,
your two friends are looking toward as well. You're standing presumably next to or near them. You close enough that Tariq was able to do the bleed maneuver. You hold up the camera obscura and you look through the lens, and before you snap, you see who you know, because you know everyone in this room now, is Jules Vane, staring at you through the camera's lens as though it weren't even there. And he says, "I'm so glad you're here." We're going to resolve that when we come back, but first we're going to go to Cabris. Cabris, it's been a while. You've been sitting in this feeling, this mix, this complicated mess around this memory of Vox, knowing that it's not real, knowing that maybe everything around you is not real. You haven't looked through the loop yet. You know that could come with a cost. What do you feel? Before I ask you what you do, how do you feel?
Also, question: do I see Gabby just like simping for this like dirty girl?
What if you do? What if you do? What then?
You've got a lot going on, so I will say I might need you to roll for that if you want to notice it.
Not worth.
But it'll be a lower stakes roll. It's not gonna be like intense, you know what I mean? But I feel like I can't completely give it for free. But I will say, I think if you pick up on any of it in the periphery, it would be enough to be worrying. It would probably not be surprising. You tell me if I'm wrong about this, Cabris, but I think that
no surprise whatsoever.
Yeah, I think that Cabris's feelings for Vox have been known to the group for as long as they've been true. And before you answer the question I asked about how you're feeling now, if it's okay, Allegro, I'd love to know in the context of that, how long has Cabris loved Vox now?
How long was our circle around again?
A little over 10 years.
A little over 10 years.
And it broke apart earlier this year, so like overall timeline would be, let's call it around 11 years.
Okay, yeah. It's probably been like 8 years. Yeah.
And how long do you think other people have known?
Caprice has no skill in reading or hiding emotions. I think sometimes maybe they get like hidden or filtered by like some amount of like distantness or like awkwardness, but it's not.
Yeah. At some point, I think it would be like, you know, me didn't think dusky person like you could blush this much. Oh, is that paint? No, it's not paint. Oh.
That sounds about right. Yeah. I'm sure Caprice flicked paint at you about it.
Yeah, that feels right. I think that memory and others are flowing through Caprice's mind as he looks at what he knows is an illusion of the woman he loves. They know it's not present, that Vox isn't there for them to talk to, but there's something that feels so fucking real about it, right? In spite of that, in spite of what they saw, in spite of it, it feels really true. That joy is true. And you miss it, I think, right? How are you feeling?
God. I think like people don't look at Caprice and think of anger often, but I think something about all of this collectively like is frustrating in a way that is like a little freaky and a little like sad, but also just makes Caprice like angry. Like, how dare how dare you use Vox like this? I hate this.
So what does that hate carry you to do?
I think this very quickly becomes like sort of like a what's going on, and like there's an element of like tentativeness, I think, up until this point. Despite this being home base for so long, because like what is really going on? And now there's just kind of like a bit of a determination of like, I want to know what's happening. I want to know what the fuck is going on. And
Okay.
Cabrice, I think, is going to like try to get a sense of what everyone else is doing to gather them, because like it feels like it's go time now. Like it's not run around by ourselves and look at random things. It's figure out what's happening time.
I love that. So you don't, that itself doesn't require a roll. You're able to look around and you'll see that your circle members who you found when you arrived here, not the two who are missing, not Vox, not Samira, not Lightkeeper Sterling, but the other three are already gathered, looking in the same direction. Not terribly far from you. Nothing is stopping you from going over there. Do you notice they're all looking at something? Do you look too?
Yeah.
Do you walk forward first next to them before you look, or do you look before you move? Okay. So who are you next to right now? We've got Tariq and Lucille. Tariq is I think near Janie to some degree. Janie's got her camera obscura out. You'd be able to see that, and you know what that item does, right?
I think
and pointed toward where you're going to look.
I think Tariq would be the vanguard, like, as usual. Like, if Vox was not there, it was Tariq who would be the next in line, right?
Perfect. And then Lucille, where do you think you'd be in that grouping?
So she would still be holding Tariq's hand. She would have been physically moving in the direction that she thought Sterling would be in, and then her attention, so her head would be turned in the direction of Pinstripe Man, whose name I immediately forgot. Yeah,
it's cool because Lucille doesn't know it, so that's
true.
That's fair. That's all right. It's very in character. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Cool. So you come up on that tableau. Where do you position yourself, Cabrice? And when you look in that direction, what are you hoping to find?
Yeah, I think I kind of come up behind everyone, kind of the center of the group before turning a bit to be like on like the side of Aleander, of Ollie, because I know that camera, and like I'm kind of on high alert now anyways, and I also like was holding hands with Ollie not that long ago. It's like realize, like it's kind of that sense of realization, like, oh, I almost lost you. And then kind of like looks at everyone's faces before turning to follow their eyes.
What does she pick up on your faces as she scans them now? Let's say Ollie to Tariq to Lucille.
A lot of worry, concern.
Tariq?
A ride of the Valkyries, pure, righteous, indignant fury, but contained behind a mask which can break with just it.
Okay. And then Lucille?
Lucille has the slightly too wide-eyed focus of a pointer who has just sighted a bird.
Love that. And what is that in aggregate across these three friends of yours who you have gathered with now give you, Cabris, as you steady yourself to see what they see?
I think it just kind of takes her back. I think it settles something. It's this whole experience so far has been kind of looking at a blank canvas and just like not knowing what's supposed to be on what the image is supposed to be, what colors we're supposed to be using. And if nothing else, it like sets in stone like these figures are supposed to be here. Yeah.
As you look over and your eyes settle on what you recognize as the hungry eyes of the pinstripe men, you are steadied enough by the presence of your friends that although you can feel him reaching into your mind a little bit, without a roll, he doesn't get what he's looking for first. But then you hear, all of you hear, in the voice of the person you are worried about most here. For some of you, that might be Vox. For some of you, that might be Samira. For some of you, that might be someone else. You hear, aren't you tired? We deserve to be done. There's a way out for us. We don't want to go without you. I mean, haven't you done enough? You hear the party raucous around you, all four of you. The party goers are having a ball. The smells are delicious. The vibes are impeccable. And Jules Vane is ready to feast. We're going to take our break. Thank you all very much for joining. We'll be back at the end of this very short break. So hang out. When we come back in, we're going to talk a little bit about what we're raising money for and our sponsors and these lovely people here before we dive back into this moment through Ollie's camera. So stick around. Go do a bio break if you need it. Have a snack. Remember to hydrate. Important to stay hydrated and safe. And thanks for being here. See you soon.
Hey, what's the word, blurs and nerds? It's your 40-something non-binary boy, Mark J, coming to you live from right outside the nation's occupied capital. Welcome to Apocalyptic Unlimited presents Harlem Renaissance Forever, this year's Black History Month TTRPG fundraiser. This year, we're raising funds on Tiltify for the Lavender Rights Project. The Lavender Rights Project is a black trans feminist organization committed to dismantling oppressive systems that disproportionately harm black communities. APOC-U wants to give a big shout out and massive thanks to this year's sponsors, Transplanar RPG, Frivolous Bear Studios, and Thought Crimes Games. Transplanar RPG is an award-winning, all-transgender, people of color-led dark fantasy channel telling stories in an original, non-colonial, anti-Orientalist multiverse. They're proud to support the APOC-U Black History Month fundraiser and encourage everyone watching to give what they can. As always, we stand in solidarity with all oppressed people of the U.S. and the world, fighting for freedom against colonization, imperialism, and white supremacy. Free Sudan, free DRC, and free Palestine. Frivolous Bear Studios is a game company dedicated to telling untold stories and amplifying marginalized voices. Their first game, The Home We Remember, is an introspective, lyric role-playing game that uses tarot cards to explore your character's memories and their relationships to a community hit by tragedy. Produced in collaboration with Tinder Vision Studios, The Home We Remember was lovingly crafted by a team of majority queer, trans, and racialized storytellers. Visit frivolousbear.com to get your copy today. And last but certainly not least, a special shout out to our third and final sponsor, Quinn Murphy of Thought Crimes Games, the makers of Griot Anthology. The Griot Anthology is a zine celebrating the brilliant work of Black TTRPG game designers, utilizing the powerful medium roleplay. This anthology holds space for intersectional Blackness in the past, present, and future, giving us the opportunity to tell our own unique stories and share our unique perspectives. Go to the website itch.io and search for Griot Anthology to pick up a copy today. Hey, what's the word, blurs and nerds? It's your 40-something non-binary boy, Mark J, coming to you live from right outside the nation's occupied capital. Welcome to Apocalyptic Unlimited presents Harlem Renaissance Forever, this year's Black History Month TTRPG fundraiser. This year we're raising funds on Tiltify for the Lavender Rights Project. The Lavender Rights Project is a black trans feminist organization committed to dismantling oppressive systems that disproportionately harm black communities. APOCU wants to give a big shout out and massive thanks to this year's sponsors, Transplanar RPG, Frivolous Bear Studios, and Thought Crimes Games. Transplanar RPG is an award-winning, all-transgender, people of color-led dark fantasy channel telling stories in an original, non-colonial, anti-Orientalist multiverse. They're proud to support the APOCU Black History Month fundraiser and encourage everyone watching to give what they can. As always, we stand in solidarity with all oppressed people of the U.S. and the world, fighting for freedom against colonization, imperialism, and white supremacy. Free Sudan, free DRC, and free Palestine. Frivolous Bear Studios is a game company dedicated to telling untold stories and amplifying marginalized voices. Their first game, The Home We Remember, is an introspective, lyric role-playing game that uses tarot cards to explore your character's memories and their relationships to a community hit by tragedy. Produced in collaboration with Tinder Vision Studios, The Home We Remember was lovingly crafted by a team of majority queer, trans, and racialized storytellers. Visit frivolousbear.com to get your copy today. And last but certainly not least, a special shout out to our third and final sponsor, Quinn Murphy of Thought Crimes Games, the makers of Griot Anthology. The Griot Anthology is a zine celebrating the brilliant work of Black TTRPG game designers, utilizing the powerful medium roleplay. This anthology holds space for intersectional Blackness in the past, present, and future, giving us the opportunity to tell our own unique stories and share our unique perspectives. Go to the website itch.io and search for Griot Anthology to pick up a copy today.
Hey everybody, welcome back. Hope that you were able to do whatever kind of bio break stuff you need to do. Get yourself a snack, get yourself something to drink, water, hydration, very important, especially for these longer events. Thank you for sticking with us, and thank you for coming back. If you're just joining now, you can come back and check the first half of today's game on the VOD after it posts, which should be pretty soon. As a reminder to those who have been with us from the beginning today, and as a hello to those of you joining now, welcome to Apochromatic Unlimited presents Harlem Renaissance Forever, which is this year's Black History Month TTRPG fundraiser. This year, we're raising funds on Tiltify for the Lavender Rights Project. The Lavender Rights Project is a Black trans feminist organization that does fantastic work, committed to dismantling oppressive systems that disproportionately harm Black communities. I want to give a big thanks and a shout out also to this year's sponsors, Transplanter RPG, Frivolous Bear Studios, and Thought Crimes Games. We have a wonderful table here who is going to dive right back in, and at the end, we'll be able to give you all a little bit more information on where everybody can be found. Before we dive back in, I do want to repeat the content information I shared at the beginning so that everybody knows what they're getting into. This story deals with cosmic bliss, horror of the sublime, anti-mimetic erasure, cosmic horror, body horror, psychological horror, existential horror, gaslighting in a heightened context, so not a grounded day-to-day context, a little more magic in it, but still worth noting it's there, and identity erasure. So thank you all for joining. If any of that doesn't sound like what you're up for right now, you could always come back and watch what we're doing when you're feeling up to it. And if it doesn't feel like something you ever want to get into, you can still donate to the Lavender Rights Project and check out the show after us. Check out the shows tomorrow, the next day, and every Friday, Saturday, Sunday this month. It is a stacked, incredible set of shows and talent that I'm just really grateful that our show gets to be a part of, largely on the strength of this incredible cast that I'm really grateful for everything that you are doing here as well. So normally we save that for the aftercare, but I'm feeling sentimental. I wonder why. What could possibly be happening that might put me in a sentimental mood? It's a light and breezy game we have going. All right. So with that said,
on that note, also happy Valentine's Day to you all from the future, because it is important for me.
So it's all. Thank you. Happy Valentine's Day to you, Adi. That's right. It is Valentine's Day for you already. So the part I'm about to mention now, fair and deeply felt. I'm so tired, y'all.
I don't know what time is. I never met her.
Exactly. I mean, especially in like the past 6 years, I feel like there's been a collapse in how time is perceived. Wonder why that might be happening. But that's the horror for outside of game. Let's focus on the horror inside of game. I did want to give a shout out, actually, not for you, Adi, or folks joining us on that side of the world right now, who happy Valentine's Day to all of you as well. But for those of us, I'm based out of the United States. On this side of the world, it is still Friday the 13th for us. Friday the 13th, an auspicious day for a bit of spooky stuff. So thanks for joining us for our spooky story.
Fuck
with
us
that,
up. Sorry.
let's do it. All right. This is the vibe, everybody. It's gonna be this light and breezy. All right. Back into it. Taking a breath. Dropping in. The four of you are looking toward a man in a pinstripe suit that two of you now know is Jules Vane. None of you have ever met Jules before. Ollie, you know something of Jules's heart. It is hard. It is cold. It has a gaping maw, open wide, leading to an insatiable void that isn't him. You can sense with that roll from before, this is something you're experiencing through him. He's a vessel, a conduit, a harbinger. Cabris, you don't know how you know Jules's name. But when he looked at you, you just did. Before we go to the camera, how did that feel?
Sure didn't like it. It's different when you're like, that person looks like they could be a George, versus like, I know with a certainty that is not my own, but is now my own, that this is someone's name.
Yeah. With that uncanny, unnerving realization, you feel your friend Oleander shift as Ollie, if this is still the plan, you go to take a picture of Jules Vane through your camera obscura.
Yes, I plan on still taking the picture.
Take 2 bleed. That is, as a reminder, 1 for using the camera and 1 for seeing a spirit. Oh, Ollie, how wide is your frame?
I think it'll get a good portion of the rum. Do I take 2 bleed even though I took the pill?
The pill would, yes, because the pill brought it down before. So the pill gave you
Okay.
could take another pill if you wanted to, and then take another body. But where it was you were at 3 bleed overall, so 1 away from a scar. Then you lowered that to 1 bleed total because Tariq took 1, and then the pill took 1. and
So
turned
I
it
have
into a
two.
body.
I add 2 bleed.
Now
today.
you have 3 total. You add 2
3,
to
okay.
that, so the 1. So
Okay.
now you're back up to 3 total. Yeah.
Okay, I'll just leave it at the 3 total. I'm sorry. What did you ask again?
It's okay. Just so you know, by the way, the next time that you may take bleed, I'll let you essentially, as a reaction, pop 1 of those pills.
Okay.
Or 2 of them if you want. So don't worry about that. But you only do have 2 left, and then they're gone.
Okay.
I was asking how wide the frame is.
I think it would be able to take. It would be able to get. I'm imagining a table back there, like
That's fair.
a table, like a buffet kind of table. It would be able to
Absolutely.
get all of that and maybe a couple other people's worth of distance.
Your frame is full of spirits. There is a massive crowd around Jules Vane. Right next to Jules is Lightkeeper Sterling. And to either side of Jules, behind him, you see Samira and Vox.
So as I take the picture, I'm going to tell my circle that this person's going to devour us if we don't escape somehow.
Do you tell us, or
Yes.
do we also see the picture? Do we see
I can
that?
if I can show the picture, yes, I will, and just
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
explain the whole.
Think of it like a Polaroid, because honestly, it wouldn't do a whole lot if you had to go take it and develop it
Take a break to
afterwards,
develop
right?
it.
So think of it like a
Yeah.
Polaroid. Yeah.
But yeah, I'll explain the whole devouring and our stealing all of our memories thing.
So all of us looking in that direction only see the pinstripe motherfucker, right?
Yeah, he doesn't have anybody around him. I mean, there's other people at the party, right? But like, there's nobody gathered with him. And in the photo, to be very, very clear, they're all looking at you. Everyone who I just described is looking at the four of you.
I think tearing his eyes from the photo to where his sister should be, I think Tariq growls. And there is a quick reach behind his back to the Cora, uh, pulls the hilt and withdraws the blade, and will cut it against his cheek, and the blood coats it and it burns with a blue flame, and he has it just out, and ya bumba clat motherfucker, where be our people?
What does everybody else do?
I think Lucille wears glasses. Everybody's used to her wearing glasses. But the glasses that she wears, the members of her circle, anybody else associated with Candela would know those glasses to be the critical eye. Because I'm assuming from the mechanics that it's the function of the critical eye is something that could be activated. It's not always active while looking through them.
Yeah. No, you can choose.
Okay.
You can choose to use it. Yeah.
So in that wide-eyed stare, I think there is I don't know how to describe it visually. I think it just makes more sense of there's a pulse or a sense that anybody who had anything out or anything active that would pick up bleed would feel the activation of the critical eye as she attempts to use, I want to roll read, and I want to take a bleed mark to get plus D2. I want to look at this man and read his true intentions, not what he's doing, but why he's doing it, what it will do, the intent behind it, not the threat, the intent. What does he want to achieve?
I love that.
And
Please
how does
roll
he plan
read.
to do it?
That's perfect. Please roll read, and you can add 2d6 to your dice pool.
Okie dokie.
Also,
that's just free drive, right? Essentially.
Yeah, it's just free drive,
Okay.
essentially. Yeah.
Perfect.
Sorry, what were you going to say, Adi?
Just to clarify, in taking out the blade and coating it in my blood, I have taken a body mark, and now it is a ghost blade.
Perfect. Yes, I imagine that was the ghost blade. Do you want to tell the folks watching what the ghost blade does?
The ghost blade is it is a ritual knife that is particularly effective against magical beings and can strike invisible or ethereal enemies.
Beautiful. And the one body is what you described,
Mhm.
I imagine. Beautiful. All right, Lucille, what was the outcome?
I got 2 5s, and then a 6, and then a 6 on the gilded.
Oh, so you get a
Oh,
that is also perfect delivery. 10 out of 10 delivery on those results. That is beautiful. That is, you love to see it. All right, so you get a drive back if you have a drive to get back in that category, which is cunning, which is where you've been spending your drive mostly. So I imagine you can. And yeah, you have a critical success. So this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna give you two things in a question. The question, you know already how that goes. But first, the two things. First, I'm going to tell you what Jules Vane wants. Then I'm going to tell you what the thing inside of him wants. So, Jules Vane, you can tell right away, looking at this man, that this man was not someone most people noticed. This man was easily treated as forgettable for most of his life. He carries himself as someone putting on a bit of a show right now. He wants to appear stronger than he is, more mysterious than he is, more together than he is. You catch something familiar on his ink-stained hands, and you realize this guy's a writer too. Maybe a playwright? I'm trying to think. You don't think you've ever heard of anybody that would fit his description? Maybe he's new at it, or maybe he just didn't really get anywhere with it. He wants, in this moment, to forget. He wants the weight of this world, of this life, of its disappointments, of its disillusionment, of every person who's ever overlooked him, every person who has ever forgotten him, every person who has underestimated him, every person who has made fun of him. He wants them all to stop haunting his thoughts and his dreams. He wants to be able to sit in a quiet moment and feel peace instead of hearing that voice back here all the time, replaying over and over everything he thinks he did wrong. That day, or 10 years ago, or when he was 5 years old, it's a loop. It's constant. It will not stop. And the world has treated him as though he deserved that. From his perspective, in his view, the world has never wanted him. And so he does not want the world. He does not think he is alone in his suffering. And he wants to help as many people as he can get the gift that he can have of laying all that down and finally finding some relief. You recognize an artistic ambition and a giddiness, a relevant beginning of ecstasy, because it isn't just the relief he's anticipating. He anticipates a transformation into something ethereal, something beyond this life, something that matters. He feels like he can finally reach out and touch that art he's been trying to carve out clumsily, and that these two things are linked. The thing inside of him, the hungry thing, it wants your memories. It wants how you feel about them. It wants especially the messy stuff, the mixed stuff, the stuff that you feel hardest, the stuff that you feel too many things about at once, the stuff that you don't know how to feel about yet or anymore. That's the good stuff. That's what tastes so fucking good, right? And there's no malice past that. It's not here to hurt people. It's just hungry. And it found some food. It's trying to get some more. And it does offer something. In the removal, it wants to do good, what it thinks is good. It does try, it knows itself to offer the sort of peace that Jules cannot wait to taste. Now, you still have your question. So you can ask me one thing about this. I will answer it fully and honestly.
Why does the hungry thing care past fulfilling its hunger? Why does it want to offer peace?
The hungry thing is interesting to try to read because it is very different than humanity. It is not easy to connect with at all on a read. But it is not trying to obscure itself, which is an interesting thing to realize, given that it's speaking to you through a person. That doesn't seem to be something it's doing with an intent to deceive. So there must be another reason. It cares for the same reason any predator you might have found out about out on the hunt might care. They're not trying to cause any harm. They're just doing what they have to do to survive. And why make it worse for their meal in their last moments before they're consumed? Why not give the mercy of a clean way out? There's no clarity here, by the way, with regard to the idea of what happens after this consumption. Nothing is offered or available in this moment without additional prodding and rolls to make clear if this consumption kills a person, transforms a person, leaves a person. What is the definition of a person? What does it really take? What does it mean? All of that is to be determined, is not uncovered. But this thing is, in its view and its way, trying to do this with more of what we might, in common parlance, call humanity than any of us may have seen or known a lot of actual human beings bring to the table when dealing with what we eat. It seems intelligent enough to do that, so it isn't what we would consider to be an unthinking creature. But its intelligence is different enough in nature from those that you have encountered, Lucille, that it is to some degree indecipherable beyond what we've discussed.
Certain poisons are meant not to cause pain but to cause bliss, so that the body is not rigid and hard to consume.
That is very true and insightful. You only have this information right now, Lucille. What would you like to do?
I think there's an odd smile on Lucille's face because in understanding Jules, she sees herself, but she sees the worst parts of herself, the parts that she doesn't want, that she knows better than to agree with. And in recognizing that, much like seeing her face on her grandmother's body, she sees the trap. She knows she's being baited with something that she wants, but she knows she's being baited with something that she knows she should not want. And in observing the thing, I think that's when the little smile, very rare to see her smile in response to anything but the funniest of jokes. She has a very stony facial expression usually, but she smiles a little bit because in encountering an enigma, she encounters something familiar, a mind. She doesn't understand her own mind. She doesn't understand anybody else's mind. She doesn't understand anything about anything. And there's this really strange sense of nothing makes sense all the way up and all the way down. It doesn't have to matter. Nothing really matters. And then she does this, like, she kind of does an odd, like, for like a split second, galaxy brains into like a slightly overwhelming existential, like, I wouldn't say crisis. So, I don't know, a realization event. And she begins scanning the environment. And I'm also kind of at a loss to what mechanically I can do, because I know narratively Lucille is now seeing a problem to solve.
Yeah.
And she wants to take decisive action to resist Jules and the hungry the hungry thing. Sorry, I went a little ravening war there. The hungry thing. She wants to stop what they're doing. She wants to end this. And I don't know mechanically what to do about that. So
That's okay. You could take a beat to think about it if you'd like. Cabris, how are you doing?
Cabris is taking in what Oleander told us, and this like strange like direct download of information to the mind, and I know an impulsive thing Cadbury's wants to do. But like generally speaking, is I think now we're in this weird situation where it feels like we're a little bit in a stalemate. In a sense. And Cadbury's just wants to know where Vox is, and I guess Samir too, but
I mean, I guess.
I guess.
Yeah. I
I guess I'm wondering from a mechanical standpoint, like, are there more dots that like I need, like that Caprice needs to be able to connect before they might think? Sorry, words are hard.
No. Take your time. That's what we're here for.
The instinct right now is to take negative space and to approach him to see if that affects the environment we're in or hurts him or some other causes some other reaction. But I guess I'm not sure if, theoretically speaking, Gabriel should be able to connect those dots yet of like weird lights, illusions, like are these things even opposed?
So here's the thing. So I will say that since Cabrice already looked through the art restorer's loop, right? I would argue there is enough information, certainly between that and what Ollie shared out loud, to put together enough for me to find it credible, right? The use. Could you tell our audience, please, what negative space is?
Yeah, so negative space is a lantern that Caprice has on hand right now, that emits darkness instead of light. And only the person holding it can see through that darkness, and sees as if it were light instead of darkness. Honestly, that part isn't even what Caprice cares about. It's that first part of like, will this counteract anything happening?
You want to give it a shot?
I kind of want to give it a shot.
Chanel, check the chat, please.
I think it means Video Ninja.
Yeah, the Video Ninja chat. Sorry.
Yeah. Is there anything I need to roll about this, or can I just go?
You could just describe. You could.
I don't know if you
that's
can
up
be
to you.
With this.
I mean, dude's looking right at y'all. Yeah. And as you know from what Ollie shared, certainly if you saw the image also, you saw all these people, including the 3 people who you came here hoping to find, looking at you all in a way that you can't see with the naked eye. So they've got, the sneaky might be out. You could roll hide, but like I'm gonna let a roll happen if you want it. But but it's probably not very likely to succeed. However, other than that, the item is not contingent on a roll. The use just happens. And just if you want to describe to me how you want to approach it within the narrative, then I'll let you know if a roll becomes a part of any of that. And you won't be locked in. Like, you tell me this is what you want to do. I'll say, okay, if you do this, it'll be this. And then if you're like, I don't want to do that, then we can do something else.
Yeah. I think Cabrice is going to kind of like look back at the group for a moment and just kind of give like a half-hearted like, it's fine. I'm about to do something, don't worry about it. Like only in gesture, no words.
That's awesome.
Is not going to take out the lantern yet. Like, I think it's going to walk forward just like slowly, like towards him, with like occasionally like looking at the sides at all of these people who are and are not looking at them. Mm-hmm. And depending on if he reacts at all, by like the time I get to the halfway point, like I kind of want to wait to take the lantern out until the last second.
I would think that, like, I mean, as soon as Caprice starts walking up, I don't think Tariq would let him go by himself. Like, he would
And y'all are welcome to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're all together. So also, like, if anybody wants to do stuff while this is happening, you're welcome to interact and hop in, and I can resolve it all together.
Yeah, I think
and interact with each other as much as you want, right?
I think he would have given Lucille a last, like, a little squeeze, and then blade out and walking side by side with Cabriz, just going, man, you got a plan here, just like, under my breath.
Not much of one.
Oh. Lucille definitely keeps in lockstep with the group. She wants to fight the man. Mechanically, does that make sense? Probably not. I'm very confused as to what I do other than notice shit. So
Fine.
But I mean, look at
regular
all
weapons work here.
Look at all that you notice, and it's a good question.
I think
We'll
before
find out.
that, can
Yeah.
Oleander just like ask the guy to leave them alone?
Oh,
You
so much.
absolutely can. So all of you are moving in the direction. Everything that you've said you're doing already, you're doing. I would love to resolve Ollie's move first.
also,
So
sorry,
Ollie,
I just saw in the chat, we've hit our second goal.
hey, that's amazing news. Here's what I'm gonna do. Because we hit our second goal right now, not
Let's
one,
go.
not two, not three, but all 4 players here are gonna have an extra D6 gilded on their next roll.
The hustle never ends. The hustle never ends.
That's right. And if y'all keep on giving more money to the Lavender Rights Project, we're gonna give out more goodies. We're gonna keep on the more good you put into the world, the more it warms my little lightkeeper heart. And then all I can do is give out gifts to the lovely people at the table. So please warm my heart so I can be nice. It's
and
nice
help
to
us
be
stay
nice.
alive.
Speaking of being nice, the incredibly powerful avatar of empathy, Oleander. Can you describe to us a little bit more how you approach what it's like and how what you're trying to achieve here? Oh, you're muted. Hold on, you're muted. You're muted. Sorry.
I step in front of the circle to put my arms out protectively, like trying to, and not that it's actually going to do anything, but
sure,
it's still a gesture. And I just want him to let us go.
I am so deeply sorry to do this to you, because I love this so much, but there's no way this is anything other than a sway. And the reason I'm apologizing, so everybody knows, is that Ollie has 0 dots in sway and no gilded, so actually has to roll at a disadvantage. Although you can spend a drive, and anybody else who wants to spend a drive from cunning, yes, can give a drive. You just have to describe to me how you help. But that's a drive from Lucille. Does anybody else want to give a drive cunning to this? It is a very high stakes roll.
I will definitely give a drive cunning.
Okay, so we're at 3 now, assuming that Ollie, you're going to spend a drive. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. No pressure on Cabris's side, but just checking in. Is there a 4th drive coming, or if you're out?
I have a singular. I don't know if this is correct. I currently in my sheet have a singular point.
You do. It's real weird.
Cunning.
It's real weird how that worked out. But yeah, you have.
I don't know if I should
total
use
of 1
that
drive
right now.
Wait, for all 3 categories?
No, just in that
cunning
one.
Specifically, I just have the one.
Okay.
That one, you just have the one.
I have 0 in nerve, so yeah, that makes sense to me.
Yeah. People are good at different things to different degrees in different ways.
Yeah, I don't have any in nerve
Yeah.
either, but this is,
Yeah.
this is a very important kind of situation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know who's really good at nerve is Vox, actually. Would have
I
been
love how
great
none
if
of us
Vox
knows
was
to do
here with
that.
you.
Fat lot of good that bomb back.
Unfortunately, my only thought is I miss my wife tails.
Oh. Yeah. And when I say good, so the folks at home know when I say good at nerve, I mean I'll tell you right now, because
Okay.
it's 9 drives in nerve there. So yeah. Anyway, that's not helpful right now. So 3, it's okay if you don't want to spend it. What I will say is this: we've got above table, right? Got less than half an hour, more or less, right? But maybe about a half an hour left tonight. And then whatever we play past this. Um, will there be a better moment? I don't know. Hard to say. We don't know what's going to happen,
Wait,
right?
is this
But
including, because this is a roll that Ollie gets the plus gilded dice on, right? For the
Yeah.
that's
Okay.
right. So you do
The
have
regular die.
that.
Okay.
Thank you for that. So that is 4 with 1 gilded already without the one from Cabrice. So if Cabrice wants to keep it, that is a relatively safe roll. Like mathematically, 4 of them are not bad. But I say that not knowing how it's going to roll. Don't get
Right.
mad at me if it goes badly.
We have used none of our stamina training rolls.
Oh, there is that too. And you can get a second gilded that way. And then
Okay.
you still got 2 left.
Oops. So how many dice do I have so far?
Do you want to use one of the stamina training ones as well?
Yes.
So it's going to be 2 gilded and then 3 regular.
Okay. I'm just trying to figure out how to add a gilded dice to this roll because it's. Oh, I think I'm doing it wrong.
Oh,
They're on
I
like
have
the
a,
bottom left.
I also have a really cool idea on how I give the cunning.
Well, yeah,
drive.
help. While Janie's working out the interface, Tariq, Lucille, talk about how you help.
Lucille, you want to go first?
Sure. It's not sway, it's read. She starts telling this man about himself and relaying all of the information that she's picked up from that previous was it a read, I suppose? I can't remember what the role was specifically.
It was.
Yeah.
It was a read. Yeah.
Yeah, she starts telling him about all of his insecurities and how she can relate, but how that doesn't justify the action that he's taking, and how that doesn't justify serving the hunger of this thing behind him, within him, that wants to consume these memories and feelings. And in doing so, this gives a drive to support. Well, what is it? Oh, to tell him to leave us alone. Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
She is giving context to fuel. It's kind of backwards. She and Ollie are kind of foils in that she tends to be a bit sharper and harsher, and Ollie tends to be warmer and more welcoming. And so she is, in her criticism, giving Ollie the context to show contextually appropriate empathy towards this person.
Love that. And then Tariq.
Tariq, I think, will just kind of keep kind of like walking, and the he is going to just angle his blade so that the wait, hold on, this was happening before. Like, god damn it, where is it? Yeah. So the glint of the light just like shines across his eyes and like just blinding him for a bit. And as he is kind of like as he closes that his eyes in that bit, I'm just gonna say, if you want to stick around with your compounded skill issue, that be your issue, man.
awesome.
But we know be after talk like you.
I love that.
So is this 3 regular and 2 gilded?
3 regular and 2 gilded.
Is it still at disadvantage?
No. That's
Okay.
gone. Because as soon as you added all this stuff in, that goes away. It's only a disadvantage if you're trying to roll it with no dots and nothing else on it.
Okay. I'm not sure what this means. My gilded dice were not very good. They were a 1 and a 3, but I got a 3, 4, and 5 in a regular dice.
Cool. So you got, as long as you don't choose to take a gilded, which technically you can, but I don't see why you would in
No.
this situation. You have a mixed success, which is good.
Okay.
It's very good to get a 5, given where you started on this, is incredible. Can you tell me a little bit about what it feels like to succeed, knowing that you only did so because, and let's be very clear about this, even the way that you described it is 3, 4, and a 5. So you would have technically still had a mixed success if you'd rolled both the 4 and the 5. But if any of the rest of the combinations had happened, you would have straight failed, right? On a disadvantage, right? If you'd been rolling 2 and taking the lower. What that means for Ollie in this moment is that there is something intuitive inside of you, Ollie, that knows that the only reason that what is about to happen to you is not worse, and the only reason that you get even a modicum of what you want is because of the people around you, the people who you left in this room when you saw something that felt like too much and ran away all those months ago, the people who you have made a point of not seeing or speaking to almost at all since until today. And without hesitation, they gave so much to you. And you felt, and this is how I would say the stamina manifests for you in the story, you felt a solidness being back together with them that is hard to not miss. The absence of what you all can do together, how that feels, how you feel in the embrace of that. It's very present. And in its presence now, you acutely feel its absence these many months in retrospect. How do you feel about all of that?
I think that I don't want to say Ollie cries, but a tear does come down her face just because of the overwhelming emotion of the moment and that she was trying to avoid them to basically, from what she saw, she figured if they weren't around her, if they weren't together, maybe this wouldn't have happened, because she kind of foresaw a little bit of this at the very beginning when they split up as a circle, or when they retired, I should say. And so it's this really nice feeling, but also she knows that this is probably really big and she could get hurt really badly. But she's prepared for that. So this, and I don't say prepared, but she recognizes that something bad could happen, but it's worth it to protect these people who are giving so much to help, who've always given so much.
I think you all pick that up also, right? I think that any of you that are paying even a minor modicum of attention to Ollie, which I would imagine might be all of you, given what Ollie is doing right now, can absolutely read everything that Janie just described on Ollie's body, in Ollie's movements, in Ollie's voice. That you know that this person who has not spoken with you all pretty much at all since you were last all together in this room is willing to face whatever is about to come her way for the chance to save you. Without hesitation. What do you, before I resolve it, what do you all do?
I mean, um, yeah, I think Tariq sees this, and the rage on his face dies for a second, and it is replaced by just like a grin that is shot back. And yeah, I think then with an extra flourish to his step and to the blade, he does a little and locks in, because here in this moment the circle of the dreaming key be present. Because
Lucille, oh,
he did not want this to happen, that
oh, yeah.
he did not want this to happen.
Lucille's voice gets a quaver in it, and it increases in volume. She's still talking. It will not stop talking until something changes. She is determined to continue doing whatever she can to do something to help Ollie do something that she knows she cannot do herself.
Gabby?
I think Cabrice kind of mutters under her breath, like, even now you make me want to paint, Ollie. But I think it's gonna sort of continue. I say continue. I think is like very like on the fence and like ready at a moment's notice to like make a rush towards him with the lantern if this goes sideways.
Yeah, and I think that would have been like, a practiced move for Cabrice and Tariq, because Tariq is blind. He uses his sense, and Cabrice would be on the side. Like, yeah, I mean, I think this would have been a long practiced move to kind of like, be like one of the central prongs of the attack portion of the Dreaming Key.
Yeah, I mean, that makes a lot of sense on my side if it works for you, Allegro. That somebody who doesn't rely on sight would work well with an item like negative space in combination. Makes all sense in the world. Ollie, how much body have you taken?
I will tell you just a moment.
Sure.
Ooh.
I think 2.
Yeah.
You have one, because in that moment, I think before he did the flourish, I think in that smirk and that smile, Tariq would have turned back to you, taken out a little bit of salt, sprinkled it in front of your person, and then made a quick circle and pressed, casting a ritual to perform on a circle of protection on Ollie, so that will soak one body mark for the person.
Does that mean you take it or does it just go away? It just goes
It's a
away.
ritual.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it just goes away.
So with that ritual cast, what does it feel like before what is about to happen happens for one of the two body that you were carrying, Ollie, to be lifted?
Mom, please. I think my hands feel better.
Perfect. Your hands feel better, but your headache gets worse. And that light sensitivity makes it hard for you to keep your eyes open as you look into the eyes of Jules Vane and you see him pleading with his eyes back at you. And you understand, because empathy, that's your realm. You know that what he's trying to get across is just let it happen. Please, just let it happen. It's going to be easier if you just let it happen. And bright light floods this space. Do any of you want to try to know where it comes from?
Yes.
I'll tell you a little bit more. You're going to have to roll for it. It's going to deal with perception, and you're going to risk body. But you're welcome to try.
Very honestly, if there is any sign of aggression or anything that is coming from the other side, light. I mean, I don't think Tariq would be waiting for any other sign. I think he'd be just like he'd go in close quarters and just try and get the knife work done.
Both of you are close. Both of you are moving. You can go in to make a move to try to. Am I understanding you're going to try to stab Jules?
Mm-hmm.
Right. And Allegro, what is Cabrice doing with the negative space specifically in this moment as this light comes out? I will say it is generally coming from the direction you're going in, right?
Yeah.
So you're already facing where it's going from. In general, it's going to cut through some part of it. But I'd like to know a little bit more about your intention to make that.
I think if Tariq can't can't stop, won't stop, Cabrice's instinct is to sort of follow up on our sort of practiced move here. But I do think to some extent, to that means sticking close to him, and activating the lantern. But I think also in the back of Cabrice's mind, if there's enough reaction time for this, just kind of making sure that he is between this person entity and Ollie and Lucio behind us, trying to carve out a darkness spot between them.
Yeah, there's definitely enough time. I'll even do this for free. There's enough time. For the cost of a move or control roll that could have some consequence in the realm of body, you can try to maneuver it so that the consequence that I'm about to give Ollie in body is less.
Absolutely.
Which one do you want to do, move or control?
Control, please.
Okay, and this is nerve, the table's favorite area. How many dots do you have in control, and do you have it gilded?
I do, and I have 2. And I do have
Okay.
drive points, so I could spend one here.
I'm
Um,
I'm gonna give you a drive as well because I have 6 in nerve. So
nice.
So that's 4, one of which is gilded.
Yep. I think that's all I can do on my end, though. So
You only have 2 of them. You do have the 2 gilded stamina still.
Oh.
So if nobody else has anything else to pull
I haven't
from,
used
that is
mine
still...
from the thing yet, I think.
Oh, you haven't used yours from the
This is
thing.
my
Yeah.
first
So
roll
add
since
that.
then. So
That's perfect. So
2 gilded.
2 gilded,
Right.
3 regular for 5 total. Because
Okay.
you were at 4 already with 1.
Yeah. Ooh, that is 1 6, not gilded, but
Okay. Okay.
nonetheless.
All right. That was woof. All right. I'm gonna say
last roll again,
yeah,
by the way.
last roll again. That the dice know how to tell a story. All right. Tell me how it feels to barely pull this off. To know that you only did it because you're working with Tariq, who you have such comfort and practice with, and that you're back with the team because you spent one of the ones from the team stamina, which now we're down to 1, by the way, if everybody can help me remember. Mark it on your sheets if you can, because there's a little spot there where you can track it. How does it feel to know that if you tried to do something like this alone, you would have abjectly failed and taken severe consequence from that, but because you are doing this together, you are unscathed and successful, able to mitigate at least part of what was coming for your friend?
It's a bit of an adrenaline rush. Caprice doesn't do a lot that that sort of creates that sensation. It's something a little rare, especially when it's something that's a little rare. And if any people were going to bring it out of Caprice, it's usually Vox or Tariq, in their various ways and means. And so it feels dangerous.
I love that. Take 1 body, Ollie, instead of the 2 that you were going to take.
Okay.
Because Cabrice just used negative space with support from Tariq to make a move that mitigated some of what was coming. Tariq, let's resolve that stab. I'm going to need something in the nerve world. I'm assuming a strike, unless
I mean,
you're
I
really...
have this is going to be a finesse thing because
Okay.
the ghost blade is aimed for the empty void of his heart because steel resonates. So that is where I want to. It's a finesse. I'm going to.
So I buy the hustle. Control works. You're gonna spend a drive.
100%.
This is, I think it's very clear to everyone, extremely high stakes. This is nerve, which I know isn't our strong suit as a group. So is it, how many dots do you have in control?
I have 3, and it's a gilded.
All right, musician.
Right. So 1 gilded, 2 regular, plus you're spending a drive, so that's 4d6 so far. Plus you have, this is your first one since we hit our goal.
Yep,
so 5d6, that's 2 gilded and 3 regular. That's a pretty safe roll, relatively speaking. You can only get up to 6.
That's pretty safe. I'm gonna throw 1 in there just to make it 6, though.
Hey, I love that. Beautiful. Describe for a second what you do to provide that assistance.
I think we have I think we had different code, hums, whistles, taps sort of thing. And I think Capri's moves, takes out negative space, and just hums this like really low note. One that she knows like gets felt more, even when Treek's a little farther away.
Love that. As that hits you, you stab at the open maw in the cold, empty heart of Jules Vane. How'd you do?
I'm gonna roll now.
Yeah, go for it. 66, 2 gilded in that.
There is just a grin as that happens, and he just goes, "That was overture. This be the prelude, and now here be crescendo." Double sixes.
You stab at the heart of Jules Vane as light pours out of his body as a conduit and harbinger for a hungry thing reaching out across the thinning from the flare. For all of your stories, all of who and what you are, until it is full, and you sense it may never be full, because as you reach your blade into this open maw, it does not hit an end. It enters, it does what it seeks to do, but there is so much more behind that opening that you cannot begin to reach. Double six. So, Jules Vane cries out. It should be in pain, but what you hear sounds more like ecstasy. As there is an explosion of light from his body that does not hit all of you with pain in a way that you can somehow tell in this moment, Tariq, it would have done. It transforms the space around you. You no longer see the crowds. You do see clearly in this moment, and off that double six, foregoing what otherwise would have required actions that above table would have required rolls. You clearly see that the people who had been moving about are now in frozen tableaus of pieces of those memories, like living photographs, flattened, lifeless, trapped forever in what is exposed to be a stark and endless gallery. Incredibly bright. It does hurt your eyes a little, Ollie, but not as much as you might have thought it would. You see in front of you where you stabbed, your hand and your knife, still able to be pulled back out, are in an open gaping maw carved into the center of a gold or gilded statue of Jules Vane. Lifeless, empty, frozen. A pre-recorded voice plays from a voice box at the throat of this, what you now realize is not simply a statue, but animatronic contraption that comes to life with jerky movement and welcomes you all and says, "Hello, I'm Jules Vane. Welcome to the Gallery of the Sublime. Here, art is made perfect. Everything is perfect. You do not need to suffer anymore in the gallery of the sublime. In the gallery of the sublime, all things are done for you. All you need to do is share yourself. Tell us your stories. Give us everything you know, and we will do everything for you. Have fun. And it freezes in place. I have to say it because there's nothing to indicate to you in this moment that he is here anymore. You do not see any sign of the ghosts around him, if they were ghosts that showed up in the camera that Ollie used. With this revelation, I'd like to close with where each of you are. Let's start with Tariq, physically closest here, then Cabrice, then Lucille, and then Ollie. When you're ready. Tariq.
I think as soon as the animatronic stops moving, there is another blur of blade and hand, and the animatronic is reduced to Kindle. And he will just kind of stare off into one of the other passageways, because there'll be no way that this over so quick. There are people still be there inside. Oh, yeah, bamba, clat, rasclat, fucker. You think this be done? Me coming after ya. And my people, our people. And yeah.
As you do that, it does actually shatter pretty easily. But when it does, it shatters into a wide variety of rotating glass shards that you realize is a mirror broken into pieces, floating around itself as though it has a gravitational pull at its center. And if you even accidentally catch any glimpses of what is in that mirror, you immediately feel its power and a sense of dread. What would Cabrice like to do?
I think Cabrice kind of watches that happen and puts the lantern down, lets it deactivate. And once Tariq is sort of not calmed down, but stopped stabbing things, kind of just muttered, "Can't solve everything with your hands." We know that. They're still here. We're gonna find them. I'm not leaving Vox behind with this.
Damn straight.
And then I kind of turn to look at our compatriots.
I love that. Lucille?
Almost immediately, Lucille's voice, I want to say cracks, it snaps. I don't know what's a good way to describe it. She begins laughing hysterically. It's startling to her, to everyone around her. I don't think anybody in the room has ever heard her laugh like that. And it's very clear it's not a laugh of joy. She is almost cruelly laughing at the absurdity of the situation. It's the stark flip from such a terrifying foe in front of them, and then just this ridiculous animatronic that thankfully Tariq has immediately destroyed, but it's just so kitschy. She can't she's having a meltdown, like she sits on the ground doubled over from laughing, and there's tears streaming down her face. It's all she does for the rest of the scene is just laugh hysterically.
And as that laughter echoes in this seemingly empty hall, other than you and these tableaus, to end us in our time in this story tonight, Janie, what is Ollie doing?
Um, I think I think Ollie drops the camera because her head just starts to hurt really badly
Mm,
with this body that she took,
mm,
and she just kind of holds her hands to her head. Um, she does recognize that everybody's around her, so she's, I think, trying to take steps backwards.
okay. And as she does take those steps backwards, she feels in the distant space around this endless seeming gallery. The tableaus still have varying levels of presence that you can pick up. They're not fully gone. More importantly, for the four of you, you can still feel faintly somewhere Lightkeeper Sterling and Samira and Vox. And when you feel them, you feel a yearning, Ollie. Find us. And that is where we leave it for tonight. Thank you, everyone, very much for the beautiful experience that you all just gifted me with your incredible talent. I'm grateful to be at this table. I'm grateful to be a part of this wonderful event. I'm grateful to be doing a small part to help raise money for such an important and worthy cause. So thank you for all of that, everyone. We got to keep our outros real quick. So I just want to say thank you again to our sponsors. Please do give money to the Lavender Rights Project. I've been Danny R. Mendoza in all of the social and online places. That's Danny He Him. Just follow me to find my stuff. And this time I'd like to kick it to Chanel first.
Hi, my name is Chanel Lees. You can find me pretty much anywhere online at Chanel Lees with or without the hyphen. I'm an actual play performer, and I'm also the community manager of Anansi's Web, the Black Actual Play Creator Network. You can find us at anansisweb.bsky.social. If you are Black and you are interested in creating and not just consuming actual play content, get in here. We are the place for you.
Love it. And your popcorn too?
Popcorn to Allegro, because that's generally the right direction.
Hello. Hi. I'm Allegro. I'm also known as Alluring Allegro across the internet, mostly here on Twitch and on Blue Sky. You can find me doing actual play occasionally or a variety of VTubing. Thanks so much for being here with us today and for helping us reach our second goal.
Yeah.
Woohoo. All right, popcorning over to Janie.
Hi, I'm Janie. I play Janie Potts Online. I am just lots of places. I'm also the AP lead here at APOC, and I could popcorn it to Adi.
Yes, please and thank you.
Suddenly, I didn't have time. Hello, people of the internet. I have been Adi MK. You can find me at Adi MK on both Blue Sky and YouTube. But you can also find me on Twitch at Many Faced Plays and soon on YouTube as well, because what we are going to be doing is Baghdad by Nights, a Vampire the Masquerade chronicle that is going to be set in 1972 on the banks of the Euphrates and the Tigris. The city of Baghdad glitters in the night, and will the streets be paved in blood? Who knows? Let's see.
I can't wait.
Yeah, that's it for me.
I love that. Thank you all again for giving us your time today, for being a part of this. Thank you to everyone watching after the fact. It's not too late. You can still give to the Lavender Rights Project. Stick around here for the next show here today. If you're with us live, it's going to be amazing. And have a great night, y'all. Good night.